and welcome to my Xbox and Me episode 502. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside the one and only Too Fresh Crash. Why are you clapping? Why are you clapping?
You know why I'm clapping. You want me to say it? Fix just started the podcast 5 seconds ago and completely messed it up on start, on rip. He doesn't normally do that. And then he told us to delete the file. So if you guys never see that clip, but Despawn kept it, you'll see it at some point. Maybe Despawn will put it randomly as the intro to a random podcast that it's not even from. Who knows?
I give you guys too much power around here. Way too much power. If I see that on socials, I'm going to be very upset, all right? All right, don't do it. But just remember, I was recording all before that. Huh? That's what I thought. Let's carry on with this podcast. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside Too Fresh Crash and the one and only Matt P Video. Matt's not here. Don't worry, he died. Despawn's here, though. Hi, Despawn.
Hi, I'm here. I didn't die. I'm good. I'm alive.
Where's Matt?
He died. Snakes to the eyes. Keeps happening. I don't know why he keeps hanging out. I don't know why he keeps hanging out in this snake pits. I don't get it. He's
Couldn't
so
be
weird.
the ankles, anything. It just had to be the eyes again.
It's always the eyes. He's like, he just puts himself face first. It's weird. It's like he
Do you know
dives
what's
in.
wild? You can't get new eyes.
No.
So how does he keep getting new eyes?
Well, they don't eat him. They just bite him and then just So they heal after a while.
I'm pretty sure if a snake bit your
I just want
eyes...
to point out, we've been saying he's dead, correct? If you die, you don't get a new life. So why are you hung up on the eyes part?
I mean, he's rich, so he can buy a new life. Yeah, he's got that new life money.
I forgot about that rich buff. Yeah.
You know, it's a character trait of Matt P.
Yeah.
he can buy new lives. He can buy new lives.
Video gamer,
If you don't know, this is my Xbox and Me, our weekly Xbox podcast right here on youtube.com/MXAM official. You can support us over on patreon.com/MCFixer, find us all podcast services. And follow us over on Twitch, MXAM official. Please go and do so. A lot more live streams. We just did our State of Play reaction stream where we're talking all things State of Play during today's episode. But yeah, reaction stream went well. Really enjoyed it. A lot of new people came over. So thank you to everyone that supported that. Topic of the show this week, though, Despawn, this big one on you, really, is Avowed. Avowed is out there, kind of, sort of, maybe, sort of, weirdly, not, but is, but on. You can pay an extra £20 right now to play it in early access. And that doesn't mean if you have Game Pass, you can play it early, which we'll get into. Go on, Crash.
I added an article at the end. I don't know if you saw it.
Go on.
It's streaming services, so you can't stream it on xCloud right now, but you can stream it on NVIDIA GeForce.
Of course you can. Because
for whatever reason. Yeah.
Because why not? Because why not? Anyway, Avowed, new video game from Xbox first party. Despawn, you have been playing it now for a number of hours. What are you thinking? How is it?
Yeah, so I'm about, I want to say 14 hours in so far. I've made it to like the second area. High level thoughts. This is exactly what I wanted from an Obsidian game. It feels like a fully fleshed out classic Western RPG with lots of options to play around with your character. I'm really enjoying the story at the moment. The combat is, for the most part, absolutely amazing. Like the way that you can mix and match your abilities and weapons and loadouts is fantastic. I've had some issues with it. They level, like the difficulty spike between certain areas is ridiculous. It doesn't do a very good job of explaining a few things that you have to like figure out yourself. And I've had a couple of hard crashes of playing on PC. So yeah, we can get into all that properly in a bit. But yeah, so far, like I'm really enjoying my time with it. But there are a couple of issues I've had with it.
Interesting. The reviews are all over the place for this one, to be honest with you. From what I've seen 9s, I've seen 8s, I've seen 7s, I've seen 6s. Yeah, all over the place, which is really interesting. Crash, where we starting with this one with Despawn? You got any thoughts that you want to ask off the jump?
So when you say there's issues with the combat that you ran into, is it just the difficulty spike, or is there a way that combat works that's the issue?
No, it is particularly the difficulty spike. It does like characters don't have levels per se. So it does a really bad job of showing you like how difficult enemies are. It does that whole like a skull above the head to say how difficult they are compared to you. But that is based solely on your weapon loadouts. And between areas like let's say the first area that you're in, which is the main like beginning of the story, everything is about your level straight off the bat. There's anything major. There's like a couple of like bounties that you have to do that are quite high level, but you can easily level up to that. As soon as you get to that second area, everything is overpowered, and it feels like a massive slog to kind of get through the areas because you're constantly fighting for your life until you start like going around and getting those upgrade materials and things like that. So it's not like it kind of like an ease into it. It's very much a jump straight up.
Interesting. Is this game just a generic RPG? Is my main question, because every time I looked at what I saw, I didn't love. We all know I was quite critical and didn't love the gameplay. I didn't love what I saw of it when I first saw it. Is it exactly what you expected? We're jumping into it. It is an Obsidian game. Nothing's really changed, or are there changes? Are there gameplay things that you haven't experienced before in an Obsidian game, or is it pretty run of the mill of what to expect?
I think the moment to moment combat is relatively what you expect, but it feels so much meatier and like it feels current gen, like it feels modern. So it doesn't feel like a Skyrim, like, you know, where it's just like you're hacking and slashing and the enemies are kind of reacting. Every hit feels quite visceral. I think the most unique element of it is the way that you can mix and match your weapons, which I've had a lot of fun with. I think that is probably the most unique selling point for this. So the way that you can kind of balance you can use a two-handed weapon and then you can quickly switch out to using a book of spells with a wand, or you can have a book of spells with a flaming sword, which is my current main go-to. And the way that you can balance that out, and then you can use like the elemental attacks to kind of do kind of combination attacks. It's really interesting. I think like the combat is one of the strongest parts of this game, which doesn't mean that like the story and anything like that is weak. I just think the combat is that good. In the moment-to-moment gameplay. But yeah, the whole package, it is very much a Obsidian Western RPG. But yeah, like, I don't want to jump to the end and say, like, I'll put a score on it, but, like, it's not perfect by any means, but it's definitely, like, when you said there were people giving this sixes, I am genuinely surprised.
They're out there.
They're out there.
Again, I've not played the game. You know what the internet's like nowadays as well, rage baiting to get views and clicks and things of that nature. So, go to the people you trust for reviews. People don't just go to one source and find out what they didn't like, because that could be something that you actually do like about a game. You know, if someone is to score something down because it's linear and they wanted it to be more open world, I'm more likely to be like, whoa, it's linear. I love that. So yeah. Anyway, open worldness. You know, is it exactly what we're expecting? The game opens up as Obsidian games normally do, you know, very much like, hey, go find your path, or how is it? Is it very structured, or?
So you've obviously got your golden path. You can go do your mission. The worlds are very open. They are hub worlds, but the world, each hub is huge. It feels like a small open world, should we say, like a small size. But there's plenty of scope to go running around. I think that's one of the other strong points of this game, is the game rewards exploration very well. So I would very much I'd have the golden path and I'd be like, well, what's that shiny thing over there? I'm going to go have a look at it. There's a tower for some reason in the distance. Let me go walk over to the tower and see what it is. And then I'll climb up the tower and find a unique weapon or a unique piece of armor, or I'll find a boss to fight. It does a very good job of rewarding that. And yeah, like the world itself is very, honestly, the world is beautiful. Like, you've seen the trailers, everything is very colorful. I don't think the trailers have given it that much credit, because I've been playing on PC and high graphics on everything. The lighting is gorgeous. When you walk into an area that's filled with these like bioluminescent mushrooms and there's a tower being lit by like torchlight in the distance, and the enemies are beautifully lit as well, and they're running around with torches and stuff. It is a gorgeous game. Like, Obsidian have done fantastic work in that regard. It very much like it feels like. I know it's a weird one. Like I really like the graphics of Grounded. I think the way that they've done that and the kind of like cartoony but modern effect to it, they've kind of like taken that and like jumped it to the next level of like just like everything looks beautiful. But yeah, no, I think the world itself is it's really good. Like I think it's well designed. Like the way that you can just come across a little city and run around in it and find like little hidden paths into buildings. I think they've done a fantastic job with the world.
Biggest thing, most important thing that they need to nail: companions. How are the companions?
I will die for them. Well, currently no, one of them. I'll die for one of them. Kai, the first one you get, like you come off a boat, you meet this guy. He's like, oh, I'll come with you to this place, and then he becomes like your main companion. I've got 3 of them so far. I think I'm about to the point because I've just got in the story to the point where I'm about to head to the 3rd hub world. So I'm about to go meet another one, which I think is the final one I'm going to meet. The characters are great, well designed, voice acting. I mean, honestly, they've got a cheat code with Kai, who's basically for everyone who doesn't know, he's the blue fish guy that you see in all the trailers. Basically he is the voice actor for Garrus in Mass Effect. So automatically my brain just goes, Garrus best guy, Kai best guy. He's fantastic. Like his voice acting is still fantastic though. Like they are like the way that they've got the companion abilities as well is fantastic as well. So he's got an ability. I'm trying to remember who's got what ability now. So he has an ability that he can take down. Like so, in the world there are certain areas that are blocked off. Then you need to set fire to them. And he has an ability where he can set fire to them, or he has a secondary ability where he basically teleports behind an enemy and shotguns them in the face, which is fantastic. And then the different companions have different abilities, and you can mix and match them, obviously, depending. So you can take 2 characters with you as you go out. So you basically have to choose. So you've got the ones I've got so far are Kai, who has the fire attacks. Marius, I want to say his name is. I didn't write it down, and I feel bad for not preparing properly. But he's a dwarf who has the ability to kind of hold people in place, so they're not jumping around, and you can just like do an attack on them. So you can do combination attacks. You can also pinpoint like hidden items around the world. So he does like a kind of like not an eagle scan, but like a quick like scan of the area, and it like just puts like a little marker where you can go see the items. And then the 3rd one who I've just unlocked, she does Giata. She does a lot of defensive abilities. So she does a healing ability, which will just heal everyone. But she also does a shield ability, which will basically, it's like in the Gwent's shield ability where you can basically withstand one attack. That's pretty cool. But so I'm interested to see how this 4th one plays out when I unlock them. But I'm really liking the companions. I think the writing's good for them. When you go to the campsites, you can chat to them, and it kind of like there is a lot of backstory behind their motivations within the world, which I think honestly it's Obsidian. They're really good at writing. They know what they're doing. We've seen it with all of their previous titles, and I'm really liking it's not one of those cases of like go to camp, here's a ton of exposition. It is very much kind of eked out slowly. So you start like picking up like little social cues from them in their voice lines. And again, the way that you can kind of interact with them, and the classic RPG of like you get a list of comments that you want to make to somebody. It does kind of like do it really well of like, oh, your character picked up on this certain thing. Let me just ask you a little bit more about that. If you want to get to know them, or if you don't, you're like, cool, all right, bye, I'm going to go fight a bear.
My most important question is the story. You've been planning that for 14 hours. Is it a story that you think people are going to enjoy? Is it a story that you enjoy? Is that what's keeping you in it, or is it the moment-to-moment gameplay, or is it a bit of both?
I'd say both, but more the gameplay. Like and that doesn't take away from the story. The story is fantastic. I just hit again.
Despawn, I love your hyperbole. Is the story fantastic, or is the story good, okay, another adjective? You're saying the story is fantastic.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I say fantastic because if you'd have asked me like 6 hours in, I'd have said it's good. But I hit a major story beat. Again, not going to talk about story beats here, but there was a very major story beat that did that whole world-changing thing. And yeah, when you realize what they're doing with the story and what your place in that story is, that's where it becomes fantastic, and the kind of motivations behind the characters. Again, it's their writing. I know they're good at writing, and the story that they're telling is really interesting. For those that don't know, like, again, very early, this is like no spoilers. You are a godlike. Basically, you are. What that means is you are touched by a god at birth, which gives you unique abilities, and the way that. But the problem is with you is you don't know which god touched you. And nobody does. And as you're going through the story, is like you start like communicating with people and who are they? What does it mean? Are they your god? Are they not? What does that mean for the wider world around you and what's happening? And yeah, there's lots of layers to this story that I think they've done a really good job of kind of like balancing that between the moment to moment, like personal stories that are happening around the world and how they play into the bigger part of it. And again, like I said, with the companions as well and how that kind of melds into it. I think they've got a really great, cohesive story going on here. Like, I don't feel like I'm confused by it. I feel like I'm very much drawn to go to the next point in the story. But yeah, no, I'm really enjoying it story-wise. But again, like I say, the combat is so good that it's hard to say which is the better part for me, but I think it's the combat.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, unless you've got more questions, Crash, we'll leave it there. Now time for me to slag off Xbox.
Yeah.
How dare you, Xbox? I paid £15, $14.99, because I saw an ad on Twitch that said early access, play now. Then under it, Steam, Game Pass, Xbox. I'm like, all right, fine. You know what? I want to be a part of this conversation. Everyone's playing it. #1 game on Twitch, etc., etc., etc. Pay my £15. I log into Game Pass. Why is it asking me for another £20 for early access? They tricked me. And I'm not happy about it, Despawn. I'm not happy about it.
Right. Yeah. Well, I feel bad for you that you've done that, and you know you've read what it said and all that. I did tell you last week that I paid for early access.
No.
Already owning Game Pass. Yeah.
I understand that.
Okay.
I understand that I'm in the wrong here.
Okay.
It doesn't change the fact that it hurts.
Okay. It hurts to be
Wrong,
wrong.
Crash.
I was just gonna say that Despawn is not a representative for Xbox,
For
so what
Xbox,
he
yeah.
said or did not say doesn't matter.
I'm not a representative, but I did tell you the steps I went through to get the early access, which was to pay the extra £20 on top of Game Pass.
I just thought you didn't have Game Pass.
I always have Game Pass. I support them.
Noticing that now.
I support the platforms I like.
I was very upset, Crash. I was very upset. Very
Imagine.
upset. I was very disappointed. I downloaded. It's the funny thing was I downloaded it on the Xbox downstairs. I had my heated blanket over me. I was like, oh yeah. About to have my Saturday just playing Avowed, playing games on the sofa. Nope. Got taken away from me. So I'll wait until Tuesday like everybody else, I guess.
Fix would have taken a picture of the starting soon screen and be like, all right, that's enough of that for today. I'll leave the rest for another day.
Playing Avowed right now. Oh my god. Controller up in the air. Of course, come on. Gotta get that social post out there. Come on. But yeah. Alright, cool. Avowed sounds good. I'm apprehensive, Despawn, on your take. I can't lie.
Okay.
I'm not sold off of what you've said, to be honest with you, but it's not your job to sell, so who cares, really? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not the
No, do you know what I mean,
department.
Gretch?
Yeah, I know what you mean, Fix.
No, do you actually know what I mean? There's. I don't know if I'm gonna like this game. And again, you got to remember, I'm already.
Yeah, I don't.
This isn't always These games are not always a me game. I love Fallout 4. That was This is the best touchstone I have to this type of game, this type of RPG, right? I'm not sold. I'm still not sold. But I look forward to trying it for myself and hopefully being sold.
Okay. Like, what is the main like apprehension you've got? Like, because I think there's a couple of things I did touch on. Like, I think they've streamlined a lot of the RPG-ness of it. So it is very much a kind of it's not as in depth as Fallout. Like, you can just go in and steal everything. That's one thing I've noticed. Like, people will not.
No, but
comment
that's
on
not
you
what.
stealing.
That isn't what's the issue. That's not.
Okay.
None of that's what's the issue here.
All right.
Well, the issue here is you saying words like fantastic story.
Mhm.
Like, fantastic to me is Resident Evil is a fantastic story. Last of Us 2 is a fantastic story.
That's a crazy statement.
What?
Saying Resident Evil's a fantastic story is a crazy
To me, Resident Evil is a fantastic story.
Oh, it's a better story than Resident Evil. And I love
Last
Resident
of Us
Evil.
is a fantastic story.
No, Last of Us is a perfect story.
No, it's not. It's definitely not perfect. That's not. No.
The
no.
first one? Or are you talking about
Perfect. It doesn't matter. It's not.
You can make an
No.
argument for the first one being perfect.
I think you can make an argument the game's perfect. I don't think you say the story's perfect.
You could for sure make an argument the story's perfect.
I don't think so.
The good thing is it's subjective, so.
It's a good thing. Yeah, I don't think. But then perfect is perfect.
You could make an I'm not saying it's like definitively you could definitely make an argument it's perfect.
Gears of War, fantastic story.
Agreed.
Fable,
Fable.
a good story, not fantastic.
Yeah, it's a good story.
Good
That's
story.
what I'm
with
saying.
It's
potential.
You're using words
Yeah.
that put it in a realm of a world now. That's like, oh, I have to play this game. Is what I'm trying to get out. Is what I'm trying to say. You know, like that's what you're saying. It's like you have to play this game because this game's story is fantastic.
I'm never saying anyone has to play anything. I'm saying I think the story is fantastic. If you like a solid RPG with a great bunch of companions and a really thought-provoking story, this would be the game for you.
Here's what I'm gonna say. We've done this podcast enough with Despawn for you to know how Despawn perceives fantastic.
Absolutely.
So him saying fantastic
Absolutely.
should not have the effect it does on you, Vix.
Yeah.
Oh no. I'm doing this not just for me.
Got it.
I'm doing this for the audience as well. I
Okay.
need them one-to-one.
That's fair.
This isn't just a me thing. This isn't. I'm being very. I love the way he sits there and says, "Oh, I'm not telling you." We're literally on a podcast where hundreds, if not thousands, of people listen to us each week. You can't sit there and say, "I'm not telling you anything." You're literally talking into a microphone and putting it out to people to listen to. So you are telling people something. You can't say that you're not.
I think it's fantastic.
People
Something can
come
be-
to.
something can be good and you can love it way more than it deserves. And that's a fair response.
Okay,
That's all I'm gonna
Resident
say.
Evil, in my opinion, Resident Evil 2 has a fantastic story. The entirety of Resident Evil isn't good, isn't a great story. Resident Evil 5 makes no sense. Resident Evil 6 is the most convoluted game ever. But Resident Evil 2 to me is a fantastic story. It tells a fantastic story, and there's a lot of nuance that is left out in it, which they built on in the remakes, right? Like, for me. I'm just trying to put it out there for people, like what we're calling fantastic out here. This is a big game from Xbox. That they've started 2025 with. This is the first release, first party game this year from Xbox, and I'm asking Despawn about the story specifically, not everything else. The story specifically, and my man has said fantastic. No problem. I might even pay the extra £20 and play it now.
Do it.
I can't wait. It's fantastic. It's fresh.
Days.
I could have it beat in 2 days. It's fantastic.
No, you have it beat in 2 days.
I could.
If you don't sleep, yeah.
50 hours.
How many hours do you think are in 2 days?
Oh, 24. Yeah, 50. That's how math works. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. That's why you should never take
every day.
That's why,
Right?
as
You
I
get
say,
an hour extra.
once you get an hour back.
Yeah, you get an hour back if you put in extra hours. Yeah, so you get overtime. Yeah, time and a half. Yeah,
It's still short. It's still short, but it's okay.
Yeah,
All right, back. All right, back.
It's fine. It's fine.
All
But no,
right.
yeah. I mean, I stand by it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think again, there's so much I don't want to say about the story because I don't want to spoil anything. But there is there is a ton of nuance in there. There is, I think the writing is fantastic. The characterization of everyone is brilliant. I stand by what I've said.
Cool. All right. But let's jump into what's been in our box, other than Avowed, obviously Despawn. Chris, we'll start with you. What you been playing?
Should I start with the big one or the small one?
Start with the small one.
I played Aethermancer. It is a demo on Steam. It is made by the people who made Monster Sanctuary. It is essentially like it's a roguelike Pokemon type game. It's not quite Pokemon, but you go out, you get different pets. Not pets, summons. You get different summons. Capturing them doesn't work quite like Pokemon, but I think it's the closest comparison I had while playing it. You level up your pets individually. There's a lot of combat in the game. It felt very fun. It had a really cool pixel art style. There was a lot of strategic elements of you planning out buffs, debuffs. Every I don't know what to call them. Every creature you could summon had their own special trait, and you wanted to pick the abilities they'd get when they level up based off those traits. So a lot of that stuff was very fun. Every turn you'd get element orbs that you could then use to use abilities. So the flow of combat was really, really fun. This is a game I didn't know about. Randomly saw the demo. I forget if I saw a trailer on YouTube randomly pop up and recommended, or if I saw it was recommended to me on Steam. But it's really, really fun. It's supposed to be coming out this year, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. If you have Steam and you're into roguelikes, Pokemon's a little bit not a one-to-one comparison, but it is the closest thing I can think of for the game. I really, really recommend trying out the demo. I'm going to add it to my wish list. It's 100% a game. If it comes out this year, I will be playing it. It's very, very cool.
Downloading the demo as we speak.
Yep. So
I don't know if you like it.
Yeah, I probably won't, but I'm trying to play different types of games than I would usually play, especially smaller titles that usually get unnoticed. I've got still a couple more days to fill, so until Avowed comes out, and I can't wait to experience that.
Fantastic
story. Can't wait.
I feel like I'm being bullied at this point.
No, I'm just holding you accountable for the words you say out there. That's all.
Okay.
It looks fun. The art style looks really good, Chris.
Yeah. I was super surprised. I don't know if you guys have seen Monster Sanctuary, but one of the things I've had that game recommended to me, and the visuals I was like, I'm not really that big of a fan. To jump from Monster Sanctuary, not to say it's ugly, but it definitely has like a distinctive art style. To jump from that to this, I was kind of blown away by it, and then the game plays well as well. There is some stuff where it's clearly like, oh, this is a demo. There's certain features that are missing and stuff that could either shape the game to be better or worse, obviously. But what was there, I was very, very impressed with. Then the other game I played this week, Elden Ring Nightreign. I got into the, you can't talk about it. People have been streaming it. Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, everyone's talking about it, bro.
Everyone's
talking about it. You're absolutely fine.
We're like, am I allowed to talk about it? Of course.
No, you are. You're absolutely fine. Yep, you're fine.
I played the beta test that's going on, and I'm in the middle of the road. I really like what it is. It is a roguelike with classes in an Elden Ring game. Every class has a unique ability and a unique ultimate that recharges over time. The class I played the most was the Witch. I don't know what the name of the class is. I can't remember off the top of my name.
The Recluse.
The Recluse, yeah. That is the class I played the most. So people will be hitting enemies with elements. You can absorb the elements. Once you absorb 3, you can cast a unique spell. So you want to remember what element combinations do what. It's a very, very it constantly kept me on my toes to understand what it was doing. And I really liked that. I thought it was very, very unique. Whenever you beat a boss, you get a perk that you can pick from it, and you can get some really cool perks. I got one where whenever I dodged, I got a lightning strike to fall down, which was very, very cool. And so I would that's the only lightning I had available to me. So I would combo that with my magic and fire, and I'd get different spells, which I thought was very, very dope. The combat is your typical Souls-like combat. There's a little bit more movement and player agency I felt in it, which was very, very cool. The classes all seemed super unique, which I really liked. A lot of positives. I think my biggest question mark with the game that I'm left wondering is there's certain areas that look like they're ripped straight out of Elden Ring. Certain bosses, obviously, a lot of the bosses you've seen before, and that leaves me in a spot where I'm like, I don't know how long this game has on people's minds once it comes out. because there's 8 final bosses. I got to a final boss and I almost beat the final boss on my second or third run. So it doesn't seem like it's super, super difficult. Who knows if it's easier or if there's more difficulties and stuff like that. But for right now, I really liked what was there. Leveling up works a little bit different, where when you level up, you just level up and it auto levels whatever skills you need, so you don't have to go through the menu and all that stuff. It sort of controls that aspect for you, which makes it, again, they want you to constantly be moving forward with this, which I really liked.
Interesting. But you played solo, fully solo.
No, they didn't
Oh.
have just solo, so I was playing solo, but I was queuing up with other people.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And how was that? Did that feel? Did it? Again, I played Elden Ring co-op. How does it feel with 3 other people, other than 2 other people, 1 other person? Sorry.
Yeah, so the open world stuff, most of it is easier than you would find in your typical Souls-like game. So it wasn't that bad with groups of people, but you needed somebody, or you needed to start shot calling by opening up the map. You can ping where you want to go. You needed to be doing that constantly, because if everybody's running off on their own, XP is worldwide. So if somebody kills something, I don't know if it's worldwide, but it has a pretty big radius. So if you kill something pretty far, everybody gets the XP, and that's not an issue. But there are certain times where you do want to be together, and if you kill a boss, because there's still bosses in the open world, they'll drop they drop the perks for you to unlock the special. It'll be HP sometimes. It might be the lightning dodge. I had one where they have a super sprint that uses a bunch of your stamina, but if you do that, I had one where it dropped a snowstorm where you are, which was very cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So you want to be sticking around for the bosses. But it was a very good experience, and I think regardless of how this game turns out, this is a very good stepping stone for them to maybe expand these sorts of games into a new co-op direction. I don't know how that'll go or where that'll go if this is a one-time thing. But for this game specifically, I am worried about sort of the redundancy of the game, unfortunately. But I think there's a possibility that there's just enough here that it is a case of like every once in a while you'll jump back in and you'll be like, yeah, let's go do a run with your friends or whatever. You might want to do it solo. I will say, I think solo, like without even queuing up, this game is going to be very difficult because there's certain bosses that are made for you having 3 people. That will be not like, oh, it's difficult with just one person. It'll be next to impossible, because there's one boss where if you hit certain body parts, they fall off and they become an enemy that chases you as well. And it's designed for like 3 people, where like it'll be chasing around one person. Not everybody needs to worry about it, sort of situation. So there is a little bit more of a design around multiplayer. So it will be very difficult in an interesting way. I'm interested to see how some of the better players sort of deal with that.
Someone will be speedrunning on a dance mat in about 10 minutes, so I won't worry about it.
Yeah.
Probably.
So Inside Baseball, obviously, for those who know, I edit for PC Gamer and Games Radar. I actually edited their gameplay preview for Elden Ring. So I got to see the full, like, all the footage that they put out recently, early. And one of the questions that I had from watching that, and like I think they brought it up as well, was like the amount of replayability in that. I think you've mentioned it there, is like 8 bosses. Is that the final? Because I don't know if that's the final answer.
It's 8 final bosses. Okay. So you have more than just 8 bosses, because the end of the night. So the game works in 3 day and night cycles, and at every it's 2 day and night cycles, and the third day is just the final boss. Mm-hmm. But every night for the first 2 nights, you'll fight a boss, and it's a different boss every time. So there's a possibility where it doesn't feel redundant if there's enough variety in that, and there's enough variety in weapon spells and stuff. You can get that. I think the biggest lack of variety is actually the map and enemy placements on the map, because from what I've played or from what I've seen from little bits I've watched of people's streams of the game, they go into an area and you mostly find the same sorts of enemies in those areas. And I don't know if they have it locked for the test or if there'll be more variety in the future. So it's kind of hard to really judge that right now.
You'd hope it's just a beta thing, like a test thing, right? You'd hope that's they're testing player base and testing certain elements of the world, making sure things are not broken, and then they're going to populate it with other mobs to be,
Yeah. So yeah, I there's also missing 4 classes. There's a lot of variety there that just isn't there on purpose right now with the game. But it does make me more hopeful for the co-op format for this game than I was previously. I will say that.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think I saw it, but confirm. Can you have multiples of the same class in a round?
Yep.
Okay, so you're
Yep.
not locking people out and stuff.
I had 2 of the Eagle guys with me once, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
I was just not dying because they were both tanking everything.
Every time I see that Guardian, I'm like, that's my favorite. Like, just
Yeah.
a giant eagle in armor who flies in the air and does a AOE that heals you is great. I love I like the healing mechanic as well. Is like you don't pick somebody up, you just attack them.
Yeah, that's a very cool way to do it.
Mhm.
I also like final boss, you don't time out. You're a lot like there because normally there's like a 15-second timeout meter where you have to revive the person by that time.
Mhm.
On the final boss, there is no timeout meter and they're up permanently. But you have to. It's kind of trickier because the final boss they have a wider moveset and all that stuff. It's harder to get the revive off, but
Yeah.
there's always clutch situations against that final boss, and I think that'll feel rewarding as well. There's a lot of like little stuff where it's like I can see some really cool mechanics coming out of that. It's just longevity. That's the question with this game, I think.
Just enjoy it, man. Enjoy it while it's here. Play it. Enjoy it. Don't worry about the longevity, man. Are you buying a game for its longevity?
A multiplayer game, yeah.
Yeah.
You plan.
Multiverses. Shout out to Multiverses. I didn't buy that. It was free to play, but
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Um,
Look,
I
Crash. Is the story fantastic or what?
Fuck off.
Perfect story. It's a perfect story.
Okay,
So,
cool. Good to know.
My question is obviously for those that don't know, I think Miyazaki's got nothing to do with this. So he's working on whatever the next mainline FromSoft game is. Does it feel like it's missing his touch in this, or does it just feel like more Elden Ring but multiplayer?
This is interesting. So I'm gonna say yes, but I think even if Miyazaki had his touch in this, I don't know what he could do with the format of what this game is.
Okay.
I will say it does kind of feel like an Elden Ring mod. You can take that as you will, or as like take that however you want. It does feel like it is a mod for a game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you definitely notice the lack of Miyazaki, but I think you would have felt like there was a lack of Miyazaki even if he was actively involved with the game, because it's not a game where you could really shoehorn in his style of storytelling.
Here's my question for you, Crash. It's how do I word this? Does it feel like, because from again, I'm not an Elden Ring fan, right? Like I've played the game, I enjoy it. I know, number 4 on the Game of the Year list, 2020 whatever, 2019 or whatever it was. All jokes aside, does it feel like a game that the publisher has pushed to be made to generate more money around an IP that is popping, or does it still feel like the heart of the game is there? Because again, from someone like me, looking at it from the outside coming in, right? It does feel like, oh, this mod was doing really well on Elden Ring. People and people complain about difficulty, and people complain about the way the multiplayer is. And then it's like Bandai have seen all that and gone, what can we knock up as fast as possible that is still at a high level that we can generate a lot of money from? Is that how it feels? Because that's how I perceive it to be.
I'm gonna say no, because I think if that was the case for me, they probably would have leaned into more of a narrative that might have not even existed, and you don't really get that with the game in any of the showings. The showings is very much here's the co-op and here's that, and for me, that's why I would say no. I think what you get is very well designed in a way that also doesn't read like it's a cash grab or anything like that. It feels very much like a thought out, fully fleshed out project.
Cool. Good. I'm happy about that. It's just, again, it's weird. We live in this world right now, right, where like games cost so much to make and blah 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 blah. That this could have easily been a publisher being a little pushy with like, hey, we got this IP, we need to generate as much money out of it as possible, and then lower the quality of what that is. But it doesn't sound like that's the case, which is really good.
Yeah. No, I think fully. This feels like, I forget who's the lead designer on it, but it is somebody who's worked on Souls games, so it feels sort of like he has his own opportunity to sort of do something with that franchise and lead a project for it. Maybe to lead a future Souls game, or maybe to do more games like this, who knows, or just to give him the opportunity.
It is Junya Ichizaki.
Yeah.
Exactly how I would have pronounced it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
I guess the final point is, because I think like from the trailers it very much looks like it is, but like from what I've seen it isn't. For those that haven't played it, how much of the battle royale elements are actual battle royale elements in this game?
There's a lot. So you do have obviously, well, when people die, they're not permanently out. They will respawn at a site of grace. That's not really there. Loots, you kill bosses, you get a certain type of loot. There's chests all over that you'll get loot from. There are certain crates you can destroy and they'll drop loot and stuff like that. So loot is all over the place. It's graded on rarity. You have white, blue, purple, yellow, I believe are the
Purple
rarities.
thingies?
There's
Purple
purple
thingies?
thingies, yes.
Haley's
Um,
in.
yeah. So there is that. The circle does close, and that is an interesting mechanic that sort of pushes you forward and stops you from staying back. It creates moments of agency, and it works very well. It's not an insta kill; it is a slowly kill over time. If you get caught out of it early levels when you don't have as much health, it is very detrimental. You will die pretty fast. But I think it all works in a unique way, but also it flows together in a surprisingly well place where nothing feels super out of place, which I was a little shocked by.
One real for real final thing. Do you think you could carry somebody in this game? Or is it going to still be a case of you need to be good at Elden Ring to play this Elden Ring? You know, like I joked about Haley, right? Like someone who's never played an Elden Ring game, but they're like, oh, I still want to play with my friends. Do you think they could get carried through some of this experience or not really?
One person certainly. I think two people could get carried from this game because of the resurrect aspect and how it works.
Okay.
So if you have one really good friend, or one really good friend, a competent friend, or two like semi-good friends or something like that, I think
Yeah.
people could absolutely get carried in this game. So I do think it does lend itself to more of a co-op experience as well.
Nice. Okay. Cool. Cool. Despawn.
Huh?
What have you been playing other than Avowed? Nothing?
Nothing. Yeah, nothing. I played like an hour of. Oh no, actually, no, I lie. I did play something, but it's an old game. I started playing Dredge.
Oh, I did. Do you know what? Weirdly, I saw you playing Dredge and thought, why the fuck is he playing Dredge?
Because I was in this
Old
weird
game's new.
moment. Old game is new. Yeah, I'd never played it, so I was like, I'm gonna give it a go.
Okay.
So yeah, I was in this
Great
kind of
game.
weird. Yeah, fantastic story.
Very okay. Very decent story.
It's fine. It's a fine story. But no, it's that moment of like I was waiting. Like I think it was a day or 2 days before Avowed dropped. So I was like, I'm not going to jump into anything big right now. I just want to play like some small indie game. I had that on my Steam list, so I was like, oh, I'll just install it and give it a go. Yeah, really enjoying it. Put a lot of fair few hours into that one. Yeah, go check it out if
good
you
game.
like a good indie game. Yeah.
Good game. Good game. Yeah, I've been playing games. Can't talk about them. I'm embargoed, unfortunately, but I have been playing stuff. You'll hear about it soon. I don't even want to put a date on it just in case I'm not allowed to. Soon. So keep it checked on the podcast soon. Matt's dead, so he's not talking. Boys, let's get into this week's dashboard. We've only really got one big story. We'll cover a few little bits maybe, but State of Play happened. Obviously, like we said before, top of the show, we did a reaction stream to it. We enjoyed it for the most part. The internet did not enjoy it for the most part, I am now seeing. But there was a lot of stuff that was revealed at this State of Play. 22 games that are coming to Xbox also, which is awesome. So we're going to talk through some of those. The first being Monster Hunter Wilds. Monster Hunter Wilds, obviously, a game we've all played. We played it together. We played the beta. This was more like a roadmap in terms of like what's to come in Monster Hunter. This was more a trailer for the hardcore Monster Hunter fans, which you can't begrudge. Again, we've all said that we've seen way too much Monster Hunter at this point, especially with the game coming out very, very, very soon. But yeah, I didn't hate what we saw. It just didn't do anything for me because I'm not the hardcore Monster Hunter fan.
I had a friend message me after this, and they told me that the most excited thing about that they've seen for Monster Hunter so far is the reveal for the next monster coming out. So
Okay, there you go. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Yeah. Again, like we say,
excited.
They're talking to their audience, and you can't blame them for that. You know, we can't blame them for that. They know what they're doing. The roadmap's now set, and yeah, Monster Hunter World is going to be an interesting one. I'm interested to see where it lands on our Game of the Year list when we get to the end of 2025. I have to say. Next up, Shinobi Art of Vengeance. This was obviously the Sega collection thing that they put. They did the announcement for it. We saw Streets of Rage and all of it. This was one of the big titles that came out of that. I popped for this because I'm a huge Shinobi fan, being a Sega kid growing up. Art style looks fantastic. I really
Sick.
like what they've done, right? Like, I really like what I'm seeing here from Shinobi Art of Vengeance. I wonder if it's going to be one of those games that I'm excited for, and then it comes out and I lose excitement for it. But for a first showing, I thought it showed really well. Crash, what did you think?
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. You see the evolution of the art style from what they did with the Streets of Rage game that we played together. This because that game looked good, but it did look a little. It looked a little. I don't know how to
Rough
say
around
it.
the edges, is
Yeah,
how I would say it. Like a little rough around the edges. It was tonally they knew what they were going for. I don't know if they executed it perfectly. Where this seems like it's been refined to be executed to their
yeah,
vision.
yeah. I agree. And then also just like the combat and everything looked really cool as well from what we saw. This is a game that I wasn't necessarily sure I'd ever be excited for, but I'm very looking forward to this. Based
Yeah.
off the showing they had for this game.
Decent. Was you a Shinobi fan growing up as a kid?
No, but only because I was at that age where it's like, this is too hard for me. I can't play this. But yeah,
It
because
was
it's very
hard.
difficult. It was a hard game. So yeah, no, this looked amazing. Very much excited for it. Yeah, like I love the kind of like the hand drawn art style to it, but like hyper taken to the nth degree. Yeah, big fan.
Next up, we had Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, a new Sonic Racing game. Cool. Yeah. Okay.
Sweet.
Like,
Yeah.
like, I'm not like these games are good. I'm not gonna sit and hate and pretend they're not good games. They're just not me games, right? Like I said when we watched it, when Mario Kart exists, you're never gonna catch me choosing to play Sonic Racing, insert anything, over a Mario Kart, and that's just how I feel.
These games are fun. I
Yeah.
feel like this is gonna get a little bit rushed, unfortunately, because the big bad wolf is coming out sooner or later.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's not
Oh,
too
yeah.
far out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? You're right. That I didn't even
Oh,
think
yeah.
of it like that. It's like we have to get this out now because
Yeah.
the new Mario Kart is coming. So
Yeah. So I'm sure they're not like they probably wanted to do a little bit more with the showing because the showing even wasn't like not to say it was bad, but it wasn't super fantastic. I feel like it could have been better. And they're probably like, we got to show something here. We can release it before the Mario Kart comes out or whatever the case is. Who knows? That's just my headcanon for how things went.
you know what it is as well with this game? The way they would have got me over in this was by doing, the Super Smash Bros. Of like this. Like you needed to give me characters that I care about from the Sonic world to like get me in to this. Like I needed some cameos. Like give me Ichi. Give me Ichiban in a car racing against Sonic.
I
Give
see what you're
me
saying.
give me Shinobi. Give me something that like I can latch onto that I care about more than Sonic that then gets me still into the Sonic. Because I play Mario because I love Mario as well, you know? And Sonic just doesn't have that. Where Sega have a great selection of IP that they could bring characters in from, but they just don't seem to want to do that. They're like, no, this is a Sonic game. Like where Sonic Racing. I'm like, I don't care about Sonic. I care about Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. I couldn't name you anybody else. Like
Shadow and his gun.
no, I don't care about Shadow. Like I'll be honest.
Damn.
That's
Yeah.
that's who I care about. Sonic
it's
1, 2, 3. That's it. Like
I feel like it's kind of between a rock and a hard place for Sonic because like you could do what you want, and I think Sonic fans would be disappointed.
yeah.
Have you guys watched the latest Sonic movie?
No, not yet.
No, I haven't
Sonic
watched
3?
this one. No.
I went to the movies to watch this, and I was so shocked by the level of fanfare from young kids for Sonic. Not even like because I was like Sonic's an old friend. Like I
Yeah.
had kids. There were kids younger than me talking about characters that were showing up. The tease for future character. They knew more than me, and they were when I say young, they were like 11, 12 or something like that. I was so shocked by it that I'm like, yeah, hardcore Sonic fans, like I get what you're saying, and I fully agree with it for me as well. But I think hardcore Sonic fans, like if you do that, you do disappoint a fraction of that audience.
Which are the important ones, by the way.
Yeah,
me
100%.
being a knucklehead on the podcast who don't care, who hasn't played a Sonic game probably since, oh god, Worlds, the tennis game? No, probably the tennis game. Remember that Sonic tennis
Wow.
game back on the PS2? Yeah,
Vaguely.
see, Chris, you don't know.
Vaguely.
No, it weren't. There was a 360 one as well that I played. But okay, cool. Yeah, whatever. Crash. Next one, which was one that I don't think any of us were expecting.
Not at
Digimon
all.
Storytime Stranger. Is this confirmed to be coming to Xbox then? Because it's on this list.
Yes. Xbox put out a tweet of all the stuff coming to them. This was on
Ah.
that. So it is coming to Xbox, thankfully. Probably why it seems to have gotten a bigger budget than any of the previous Digimon games in a while. Although I think Digimon Survive came to Xbox as well, but I think that was like a last-ditch desperation move for that game. Yeah, I was super shocked. A, this showed up. B, how good the I'm assuming most of what we saw was cutscenes. There do look to be a couple of like gameplay bits or something like that, but it's one of those like Fable situations. Is it gameplay? Is it not gameplay? Who really knows? Yeah, I was super surprised by how good this looks. Based off those cutscenes, Digimon's usually something Bandai. I don't want to say just Digimon. Bandai in general, a lot of times they phone in quality because they get people off of nostalgia with a lot of their games because they do a lot of anime games. So it's like you do bare minimum, you'll get people through the door, and that's enough for them. So it does look like hopefully this is a sign not just for Digimon. I'm very excited for how good this game looks, but also for Bandai in general in the future to sort of put a little bit more time and effort into those games and give better products. Because I think Bandai out of IPs does sit on like a treasure trove of IPs that they could make games for with a little bit of quality behind them. But yeah, this game, super looking forward to it. Probably, I'm gonna be honest, my favorite thing I saw in this whole conference.
Yeah, that's
wow. That's a bold.
It's a bold move, Cotton. We'll see if it pays off.
Equivalent of a fix Saw Resident Evil for me. Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
It's fantastic. You know what can I say?
No, it's fantastic story. Fantastic story. I like the story you just told about Digimon. It's fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I put a lot of effort into it.
I swear I'm gonna have a call with HR tomorrow.
Look, I did nothing for me. I can't lie. I was just happy for you. I was happy for you.
Yeah. Was happy for you.
Not everybody can have great taste. You know.
True. Next up was Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza Hawaii. This was pretty much promoting the brand new demo that's now been released. It's out now. I haven't checked it out. I'm just gonna wait for the full game because I'm looking forward to the full game. But yeah, this game's getting awfully close to the Monster Hunter Wilds, where it's like, hey, seen enough of this now. Just, and it's coming out in like 3 days. Sounds stupid. It comes out 20th, right?
21st.
Yeah. I have a
21st,
question.
okay, yeah.
You guys worried at all? No reviews for the game yet?
No.
Okay. I have it as my fancy critic, and I'm getting a little worried.
No. I don't think it's gonna do like.
I don't think it's gonna do
like.
I don't think it's gonna do infinite wealth.
Infinite wealth
few
as well.
scores.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna get 8s.
Okay.
8s. Yeah.
I'd be fine
I'd say
with
that's where I'd be at. Next up, WWE 2K25. I feel so bad for WWE fans. As a long time NBA player, I feel so sorry for WWE fans. Like, and I play in WWE every year as well, usually, or every year it comes out. Yeah, they're getting the Island, which for those who don't understand what this is 2K's nickel and dime system where they sell you clothes for real money, hats for real money, glasses for real money, merchandise that you would see in WWE store will now come to the game pretty quickly, but it's going to cost you real money, which is good. It's all about VC. That's the way they work. And you can earn the VC in game, but it will take you years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the systems that are built in it is just it's so predatory. I don't even want to. And again, I've worked with 2K before. I've given them my feedback on all of this. I liked it when we had NBA and we would go back to the stories. Give me the Spike Lee story modes and all of that good stuff. But yeah, these hub worlds are designed to just cash in on and prey on you. Of like, oh look, store there. Go buy the new skateboard so you can go around the city quicker. That's gonna cost you more. Like, you can buy the entire. I guarantee they got a battle pass that you can buy the entire battle pass on day one. Like, I'm talking like skips, like level skips, which will just be outrageous for how much it will cost. Yeah, feel really bad. Feel really, really bad for NBA fans. For WWE fans, because they don't know what they're about to get.
I feel great for NBA fans because now they've got somebody else who can feel their pain.
Yeah, true. You can both complain together on socials to 2K. because they ain't gonna listen because they're laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if there is a positive spin on this once the game comes out, because right now it's very negative.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm interested to see how those kind of like the fair weather who just play like WWE games or whatever are going to react to this when it finally lands. It's going to be an interesting day.
Very, very. Next up, Splitgate. Splitgate 2 has been announced. Again, we said it during the reactions. I don't know why this game got a sequel, but it did. It does nothing for me. It was an interesting concept when it first came out, and then now, it does nothing for me.
Yeah, so my problem with this is not that it's a sequel, it's that they had a really good concept with the first one, and instead of just letting that concept be itself and then work on a sequel or upgrade that concept, they took that concept offline and no one could play it, and now it's like, oh, here's the second one. Also, we've seen this game for so long now. Like, we had that early access beta for a while, and yeah, everyone was like, yeah, it's just Splitgate again, but in a different wrapper.
Can you not play the original Splitgate anymore?
Nope, they took it offline.
Ooh,
because it did so well.
rough.
They went, yeah, we're going to take it offline and just force you to play the new one. And, when it comes.
They kind of treated one like an entire beta test and
Mhm.
then just went, oh, now we can sell you something.
Do they sell microtransactions in one?
No, I don't think so. No.
But moving on, Borderlands 4. Borderlands 4 probably had its best showing. We also got the release date. I don't remember what the release date is. I should probably know that. I do
September
apologize.
something, I think.
September 4th.
Which tells you, Crash,
That is not when GTA is coming out.
September 23rd is when it comes out. But yes, it does mean that GTA will not be coming out in September or anywhere near September is what I would say, because they are not going to want to kill one of their franchises. You disagree?
How near September are you talking about?
You're gonna get a good 2 months.
Yeah, I'm thinking like a November.
Yeah. You're gonna get a good 2 months buffer.
I think November is the month for GTA.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, it makes the most sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But on Borderlands 4, I do think this was probably the best showing they've had so far. Graphically, the game looks like it has taken a huge step forward, which for Borderlands fans is obviously a good thing. It's more Borderlands. I said that I forgot. Haley was like, "Oh, was there anything in the PlayStation showcase I should be excited about?" And I was like, "No, not really." And then I was like, "Oh wait, Borderlands 4." She was like, "Oh, perfect! I can't wait to shoot things." And I'm like, "Yeah, I need to remember that is what this is. There's just a very okay story with some decent shooting mechanics that you can jump in with 4 friends and just have fun. And as long as you take it as that, that is all it has to be." Crash is still like, "No, I hate this."
I can't look. When Borderlands 3 was coming out, I got excited for it unreasonably, and Fix reminded me, and I ignored him, and he was like, "You're getting too excited for this, bud." And I was like, "No, this one's gonna be good. This one's gonna be good." I'm taking Fix's old advice from me, and I'm like, this is gonna be more. I have no interest whatsoever.
I think if you do decide to get it, we'll have fun playing it. I think we will have fun playing it, dicking around, blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah. But I don't think it will be because of the game.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
This is a perfect sandbox for a fun stream. That's it.
No, I think it's more than that. I don't like
A fun
I think
playthrough, a fun time.
a fun playthrough. Yeah,
It's
not just one
hangout.
stream.
We want to hang out. Let's play
Yes.
some Borderlands. Not let's play Borderlands because it's good. And hey, I want somebody to play the game with. It's like
Yeah.
I want to talk. I want to hang out with you, Crush. Get on and play some.
Let's play Borderlands. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah,
And what will
September
happen
23rd.
is he will ghost you.
No, I won't.
No,
because I'm
Crash.
I'll play. Oh,
I
Crash
know
will
what
go
you're
to me.
saying.
Yeah.
Crash will ghost you. Yeah. He'll be playing with his mates. I've already played it with my mate. I completed it.
I'm horrible at messaging. You guys know that. I'm
Mhm.
just bad at it. I'm
true.
absolutely atrocious.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
At least the next game we're going to talk about is a game we're all excited for, which is Split Fiction. Obviously, Hazelight Studios' next game. It looks amazing. We've got a release date March 6th. It will be dropping. This is going to be up there for Game of the Year, guaranteed. Not even a question. I cannot wait to play through this on the sofa, whether I stream it or not, who knows? But it will be on the sofa next to Haley. Yes, cannot wait.
With
Cannot wait.
Haley, Fix? I
Yes,
thought we were
cannot
gonna play this together.
Wow.
No, impossible.
I
And
can
you wonder
play it
why
through
it
with you
goes
as
to.
well.
You wonder
can
why
play
I
it through
goes to,
with-
huh?
I can play it through with you as well. But
Yeah.
Despawn will play it, right? Despawn.
Yeah, I'll play it. Well, like we might actually finish a Hazelight game, unlike me and Fix.
that's on
Damn.
you.
Damn, Fix, you got called out. Damn, nah,
That's
it's on
on you.
Fix.
When have you
I'm
once
with
said,
my future
"Oh,
game
let's
partner,
finish it"?
it's all Fix.
You better be nice to me, or I'll spoil the ending.
I mean, I think I've had the ending spoiled. It's fine.
Oh no, have you?
Yeah.
Ah, that ending's so good.
Yeah. Not massively spoiled, but like I don't want to say on the podcast. I'll tell you after, but why it was
Yeah,
spoiled.
sure.
Basically, it was a YouTube video that I didn't work on, but for someone I did work on, and it was part of that story.
Ah, fair enough. But yeah, I'm super excited for this game. The problem with Split Fiction is I don't pay attention when the trailers are on because I just don't want to see anything.
I get
Is
you.
my thing.
You just
It's
want to go
like-
in and play the game, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to see the flying dragon or the this or that or the this or that. Or I just want to and you did say it, Crash. To be fair, they're only showing things from like the very early stages. It seems like, or 2 stages in the game somewhere. Like, but we only seen 2 of the worlds or whatever they're calling them. I don't know. So far, which is good. I'm hoping that's how things stay. But yeah, looking forward to this one immensely. Remember, you only have to buy it once. One person has to buy it and give you a code to play this.
Friend passes.
Which is dope. I don't know how EA's allowed that, by the way. How is EA allowed that? That does not seem like an EA move at all.
I mean, it's a Ferris thing, right? Like, you don't argue with that man. He will swear at you a lot.
They've been doing it since before he had that that name recognition. Because they did it with.
No, he's had that name since the Oscars when they announced A Way Out.
Yeah.
Since
Was
day
it
one, we've known.
From A Way Out announced. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought that was after A Way Out.
No, A Way Out had it as well.
Okay.
Every single one of their games, Hazelight Games has had it. So
No, I know that A Way Out had it, but I thought that A Way Out had it before the Oscars moment.
I think the reason is that they get to do it is because it is a multiplayer. You can't play the game single player. Like, there's no way to play it single player, so they have to give the option.
You can play it with a computer.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh, why am I waiting for you then? I'm just going to finish A Way Out.
I'm almost certain you can play it with a
No.
computer.
Nope.
No, you cannot
No?
play it. It is
Co-op
it
only.
requires players. Oh wait.
Ah.
Look, Google's AI told me that you can't, and then a Reddit post said that you can. So I got no clue.
I'm gonna go
I'll
with
be honest with you.
You should trust Reddit on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go
Nope,
with
there we
Reddit.
go.
Not the Google AI.
Well, I'm going with Wikipedia. The game does not have a... Oh, no, wait, no. Wait.
See?
Yeah, no, the game does not have a single player option.
No single player.
No. Okay. Cool. We'll figure it out. Don't worry. I
What'd you
like
say?
being. Yeah. No. Sure. Okay. Anyway, Directive 8020 was the next game. This is Supermassive's big next title. Sci-fi, horror, adventure. It looks like the evolutions of what Supermassive and the Dark Picture games are going for. Graphically, it looks, I think, tenfold better than anything they've produced so far. We all know I'm a huge Supermassive fan. I love Supermassive games. I love these. Again, I don't want to call it a walking sim because I don't think that's a fair assessment. I love these choose your own adventure games. The only thing I don't like about Supermassive games is they're still using some of the same characters models that they've had for a really long time now. And I know one of the people that is in the game, and I know full well that she doesn't get paid anymore every time she gets used anymore. So I'm hoping that changes. But yeah, very interesting off of that. But the game itself looked really good. I'm not even a sci-fi guy, and you know that I'm going to play. I wish it wasn't sci-fi, but I'm coming around on it. And you did go on. I'll let you.
About the sci-fi, it is a very Dead Space appealing game as well. Which I
Agreed.
think of the side of sci-fi, that's where you probably land on.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. This one's coming October 2nd.
Yeah.
By the way.
So for those that don't know, I got a behind closed doors look at this last year when we were at Gamescom. Yeah, this is. I'm going to tell you right now, this is 100% a EU game.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah. It is very much like you say. It is that classic Supermassive, but it also has those kind of doesn't really have combat. In the grand scheme of like, if I say this, don't take it the wrong way. It's like a Resident Evil in the kind of like, imagine the. So this is the worst part of Resident Evil, I think, is when you're hiding as Shelly.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's kind of got that kind of like survival horror feel to it of like there's nowhere for you to fight back. You can only survive, but it very much like leans into that, and it's quite cool.
Yeah,
Alien Isolation, there was a game like that as well. Or am I thinking?
they had weapons.
You could fight back.
It was high. It was very hidey though, so you're not wrong. It looks good. It looks like the world building looks very good, which is what matters in these stories. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing through it 100%. October 2nd can't come quick enough. Next up, we had Darwin's Paradox. This was the octopus game, the new action adventure. You're an octopus. Yay. Yeah.
I can't remember what it was about this that got me interested. I think it might have been the developers.
I mean, this is Konami. I know they're publishing it. Yeah, do you know what it reminds me of like Abe's Odyssey? Like that type of vibe, you know?
It reminded me more of, there was actually elements of like Inside to it, because it's like a side-scrolling kind of game, like 2D side-scrolling, but it's like there's little bits where you have to hide in shadows, and like there's some puzzle elements like using the ink to kind of like make blind spots for you to hide through.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that kind of interested me.
Yeah, not for me, unfortunately. Excuse me. Next up, we had Warriors Abyss. This was the new
Dynasty
We
Warriors.
kind of said it looked like a mobile game. Is it a roguelike? It's not a roguelike, right?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah,
It is a roguelike, right? Yeah, like roguelike, Dynasty Warriors title. It conceptually, I like the idea of them doing something new with the franchise. This wasn't it for me. It just wasn't. Graphically, it just didn't hold up for me on its first showing. And maybe that's just a bad first showing. I look forward to seeing more of it, maybe, but it just didn't. It looked like a mobile game to me.
Very much so. It's weird coming off the back of like Dynasty Warriors Origins, which apparently is a massive hit. I've not played it, but like apparently it's a return to form for them. To then follow up with this, it shows like out now. Yeah, like Shadow dropped.
Yeah, out now, by the way. But yeah, it just didn't. Yeah, it did nothing for me. Literally nothing. So that was a shame. Onimusha 2, Samurai Destiny. We saw more of that. Capcom just kept coming with the hits, to be honest with you. Looks great. Looks fantastic. I haven't played Onimusha in a really long time, obviously. This coming May 23rd. I will probably check this out because I just want to be in the Resident Evil engine as much as I can. We saw as soon as I saw this, I was like, we're not getting Res, which is like it's a shame, but it's okay. I can wait.
Yeah.
Was you ever on the Mushu fan?
No. This is gonna be my first experience playing it. I'm surprised because every time I see it, I'm like, this looks like a very me game. I just never played them before.
Yeah, and then on top of that, back to back, you had Onimusha Way of the Sword, which is obviously the new Onimusha game. I think you should try 2 and then go into Way of the Sword as well. That's no release date for that yet, but also another great show. And probably, again, I keep getting age gated, so I can't watch it. I'm trying to watch it back, but I keep getting age gated. I'm like, hey, I'm definitely old enough. I'm definitely what? Who told you? No, it looks really, really good. I like what Capcom are doing. That RE engine again, it looks so fluid. It looks perfect for a game like this that's just slower paced and graphically. I'm glad that they found an engine that really works now, to be honest with you, for the type of games that they make. Which is good. But yeah, is that this year or is that next year, do you think?
I think
Next
it's
year,
next
next
year.
year,
I think
next year,
it's.
I think
I think it says 2006 for it as well.
Gotcha. Okay. 2006. Damn, we're getting back.
2026. I wish it was going back to
Uh,
2006.
Despawn, probably your
Uh-huh.
favorite game of the show, if we're being honest. We got to see more Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. Obviously coming 28th of August, a little bit later than I would have hoped. I wanted it sooner. Just because I'm so excited. But this was probably the best showing of the game to show really what people who are a fan of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater was back in the day, right?
Oh, the nostalgia. It hit so hard on this one. Yeah, we got to see all the enemies, the big bosses that you're going to be fighting. Big boss, not actual big boss. But yeah, no, this looked fantastic. Like, obviously, for those who don't know, who aren't into the gaming sphere as much as we are, like, this trailer leaked beforehand.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, so
I didn't know.
yeah, I saw the trailer beforehand, but I was still like,
Ah.
I didn't watch it properly. I was like, I saw it was up. I went, let me just have a quick look at it. Yep, still looks like it. I'll watch it properly in the state of play. Looked fantastic though. Like seeing all the bosses, like seeing the end, and just everyone else is just it was amazing. I'm so hyped for this one.
Again, as someone who never beat Snake Eater,
Mhm.
I'm now very happy that I'm going to get to see it in all of its glory. I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like always with these remakes now, it's how you remember it, but it's not, because when you go back and look at it, you go, oh, that wasn't how it was meant to. That wasn't how it looked. Damn,
Yeah.
crazy.
I
But
think they're doing the best way possible for this because it is a shot-for-shot remake rather than it being like a remix of per se.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that it is like say the classic voice lines, everything you remember from the game originally, but it just looks the best it's ever going to look. And I've said it before, like Metal Gear Solid 3 is one of the best games ever made, like canonically, like score-wise, it's always in those top lists. So seeing this, like this in an Unreal Engine is just like, oh, I'm so excited.
just a quick caveat for those who didn't know: Xbox will not be getting the Ape Escape. What is it? I don't actually know what it is. So
It's kind of like just a side mission. So
Gotcha.
if you ever played like the VR missions that were in like the classic Metal Gear 2 kind of thing, it's one of those. I think
with Xbox are not getting Ape Escape; they're getting Bomberman instead.
Mhm.
So just so you're aware, there
Yeah.
you go. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. Crash, you gonna play this?
Yeah, this is the first showing where I was like, because I've been interested in it. I've never played Metal Gear Solid 3. I've mentioned that before several
You didn't play
times.
2 either, right?
Didn't I started with 4. I played 4 and 5.
That's so
4.
crazy.
Here's the thing. Here's the funny thing. 4 was when I jumped into the franchise. I love 4. 4 is a very good. The ending to 4, the scene where you're like fighting.
I've not seen it. I've not played it.
Oh, never mind.
Have you
Don't say
not?
anything.
It's only on PlayStation, and I didn't have one at the time.
I bought a
Oh.
PlayStation for that and Last of Us.
I'm holding out for the Master Collection too
Okay.
for it to finally come to PC.
I know what
Okay.
you're talking about, Crash. Don't worry.
Yeah, so I absolutely loved my experience with that. You'd think I'd go back and play 3, and I was like, no, I'm not, I'm not going back.
That's wild to me. 'cause
Probably
like
the
I
right
said,
call.
older games.
Nah, probably the right call if I'm honest.
But yeah, so this is the first time seeing the gameplay here where I was like, oh, I'm actually like really looking forward to this. There haven't been like a ton of stealth games lately, especially like good stealth games. And on top of that, like Metal Gear Solid is like those games are just built very well, regardless, like designed very well. So like Despawn said, them keeping like those earlier Kojima design choices and just modernizing it visually, I think is a really good call and has me looking forward to it. So I'll definitely be playing it.
Are you ready, Despawn, to move on?
Mhm.
Okay. Hell is Us. We got a trailer for Hell is Us, which is the action adventure game coming September 4th, I believe. What do I say about this one? It looks. This is the one that looks kind of. I thought it was Death Stranding at the start, and then it wasn't. Talk to me. I don't really know what to expect from this one.
I don't know, like, because I don't know what it is. It's like it feels like a kind of survival horror-esque action game, and then on the other hand, like you say, it feels like a Death Stranding. Then there's bits where the combat feels like it's kind of almost FromSoft like. It's like I'm interested in this one. I like it with like the kind of like the future spin on it, of it being like a like a future-fied FromSoft game. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm like, yeah. But then it also has like kind of, it feels like almost extraction shooter-esque to it, like you're surviving in an area. I don't know what this game is, but I'm interested to see more.
Graphically, it looks really good.
Mhm.
Well, like, but yeah, I'm still confused. Still very confused of what what it is, and tonally, it was everywhere. As
Mhm.
like not like 1 minute it felt like you were in a war zone. Next minute you were here. Next minute you're there. You're like, I don't know how to really understand this trailer, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm sure this is one of those games that are gonna come out and it's like, oh, it was great, or oh, don't worry about it. Did it do anything for you, Crush?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. It is aesthetically and design wise a game that I think is up my alley. But I agree. I think it's kind of hard to tell exactly what it is right now. Which is not a negative thing per se, but it does leave you a little bit wondering where it'll end up. I think I'll probably more than likely will end up playing it whenever it does come around though.
It's a
Regardless.
Nancom game, right?
Nacom,
pretty
yeah.
they're Acom, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're are they developer or publish or both?
I think both.
Okay, interesting. Crash, Liza P, overturn. I said that right.
I am overture. You said it right. Yeah, I messed it up. You said it correct. Yeah, this looked phenomenal. All the new weapons looked amazing. You're going back in crat for this one, jumping to the past before the big bad happened. I'm gonna call it the big bad. Yeah, it looked phenomenal. I'm super excited for this. I'm very happy I decided to play through Lies of P again. Yeah, I don't know what else to say other than I really want this right now. And if I could go to the future, I would go to the future to play this.
You would go all the way to September 4th, would you?
This doesn't have a release date, if I'm not mistaken.
It does.
Launch it September 4th.
Oh,
Yep. There you go.
I'm gonna go September 4th to play this.
Just go to sleep right now.
I thought it had
wake up
a
September
summer
4th.
release date. No.
September 4th.
Okay. I just want to point out that the release date Despawn gave us earlier, so I don't know if I trust that release date.
No, I misread that. So
Yeah, okay,
I was reading it said Borderlands for September, so I just read for September, and Americanized. But no, this looks great. Yeah, I need to go back and finish my playthrough of Lies of P again, don't I?
Yep.
Because I did start playing it again, and I started enjoying it more after becoming an Elden Ring master. So yeah, I need to go back and play it.
So I'm just sure what I'm nervous about.
Go on.
Number one, obviously, I have this as part of my fantasy critic, of course,
So
I'm expecting some challenges soon. Not only that, I'm expecting this to be on our Game of the Year, very high on our Game of the Year list, which GTA better come out. That's all I'm saying. GTA better come out, because if I see you try and put this above GTA, I'm gonna start fighting people. Could be the end of the podcast, honestly.
You know what? I really would love it if me, T-Spawn, and Matt collectively got together to just rag on GTA.
There's no way. The podcast will end. It'll be the end.
Over GTA? You'd end it over GTA?
I think it would be a fitting end. I think it would be a fitting ending, if we're being honest. If you disrespect GTA, and GTA is actually good, because again, there's always a chance it could be bad, but very slim chance. I hate the fact we put these expansions in. I understand they should be in there, but they just they annoy me. We got a couple more, so let's fly through them. Tides of
Annihilation.
Yeah, I was close, bro. I was close. I was getting there. You had to just give me like another 10 minutes.
I apologize.
Annihilation, thank you. Crash, I know you're very high on this one, so chat to me.
Yeah, this game had a very gorgeous showing. It was very fantasy-esque, Final Fantasy-esque. It reminded me the first game we thought it was Obscura. What's the full name of the game?
Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
Yeah, at first I was like, maybe it's that, maybe it's something else. It does have like tones of Devil May Cry in it as well. Certain boss moments are also very Souls-like. They had a 11-minute gameplay showing for it. I don't know if either of you watched it.
I didn't see it, no.
You have like summons in the game as well that work in combos and stuff like that. It looks like a very, very interesting game. still a little unpolished, but all they've announced that they're working on it. It doesn't have a release date or a release window or anything, so I'm sure it'll look even cleaner. Yeah, this game looks really, really cool. I think of everything that was shown here, Digimon aside, because Digimon's like a personal surprise, right? This was probably like the really the biggest surprise of the showcase, I think.
Yeah, same. Like,
Yeah, no, I agree. I like I like what I saw of it. I'm just scared it's gonna be Souls-like and hard, and then I'm not gonna get to experience it for all of its worth without a carry. So,
but you've completed Elden Ring, so
with a very heavy carry.
I will say most of the comparisons people are giving it are Devil May Cry and not.
I love
Souls-like
that.
people. So yeah,
Okay.
so I think this will be more up your alley.
yeah, this is
Perfect.
giving me more Devil May Cry meets Final Fantasy 16 in the combat.
And of course, I will love it because it's based in London as well. Big Ben was there, so I'll
Big
be
Ben
there.
was there.
Big Ben was there.
London's getting a lot of love. A lot of games taken.
I mean, I wouldn't say
London
this is love. They
inspiration
destroyed
really
it. They destroyed London.
New York's been dealing with that for how long? What
Yeah,
do you-
true. Yeah. Shout out Division.
Yeah. Oh man, bro, we're gonna get in the division one day.
Well, yeah. Well, they teased it.
They're
We posted it on
all
social.
going to get scrapped, Fix, or destroy your
Yeah.
hope.
Why would you say that?
They're not going to
know-
get scrapped.
Yeah, but why would you even say that? That was so
Nah.
mean.
They won't scrap it. They'll just sell it off to somebody else.
Moving on, Blueprints. This was the strategy puzzle element game that I started falling asleep when I saw it. But it's coming to console. These one, you said you played a demo or a beta of this or something.
Yeah, they dropped a demo. I think it was like last year. So it's not so much a puzzle. It's like a puzzle roguelike. So the basic concept of it is you are an orphan who inherits a house from a weird like former uncle that you didn't know about, and you get to keep the house, but you've got to stay in it 3 days and get to the center of it. And the basic premise is you go through the house, but it changes every day that you're in there. So you basically have to find a way to unlock different paths through the house. So different rooms will do different things, whether it be positive or negative. It is a very cool concept. I'm interested to see how it plays out in the full, because the demo, like, while all the gameplay elements were there, I don't think there was a way to get to the center, but yeah, it's a very cool concept. So yeah, I'm interested to see what it's like in full.
Will be on Game Pass day one.
Mhm. Excited
Coming
for
in the
that.
spring. Coming in the spring. Seems like a perfect Game Pass game. I feel like they get a lot of. I know you're saying it's not a puzzle game, but they do get a lot of those type of puzzly type games. You know, unpacking and a few other titles that we've seen always launching Game Pass day one.
Yeah.
So they must be doing well enough for Xbox and the developers to make that happen. So, next up we had
Do you want me to give this one for you?
Go on, please.
Abiotic Factor.
Abiotic factor. Oh, okay. Yeah, this should be a me game. Survival, crafting, base building, blah blah. Did nothing for me. Nothing.
Is it the art
Abs-
style?
Possibly. I just didn't think it looked that interesting. If I'm being honest with you, it looks.
It's too sci-fi for you.
I don't even think it's even the sci-fi part that it was just, you're probably right. It probably is graphically. It just didn't grab me, to be honest with you. Another game coming, I believe it's coming to Game Pass as well in the summer. So I mean,
I'm interested
maybe
in checking
you
this
guys
one
will
out.
convince me. Maybe you guys will convince me to check it out with it being on Game Pass. But yeah, it just didn't do anything for me.
Yeah,
Super,
It might be one of those weird sleeper hits. It's like it doesn't look like it's great, but then you get hands on. It's like, oh wow, there's actually a lot of stuff here. Like it's giving me, as I'm watching the trailer now, it's giving me kind of. Oh, what's the game? My mind's gone blank already on the name.
The game I was big on, like
Not Content
last year,
Warning, the other one.
Yeah, I'm forgetting what it's called as well.
You
I know the
know,
game you're talking about though.
Yeah,
the one where you go into the factories and take
Mhm,
the spots
mhm.
and go back to your ship. I don't know why
Yeah.
I'm forgetting the name.
Yeah, my mind's just gone completely. I woke up like 30 minutes
Lethal
before this
Company.
podcast.
Lethal Company.
There we
Lethal
go.
Company.
Yes, it's giving me almost Lethal Company vibes to it, with like you say, the crafting Minecraft elements to it as well. Yeah, so I'm excited for this one. I'll give it a go. Like, I think this will make a really good stream. I keep saying that, but yeah,
Down to do a stream for it
Mhm.
on Game Pass.
on Game Pass.
I'll do
Fix
as
it
I'm told. I'll do as I'm told.
You'll be there and you'll enjoy it. Fix.
You will, well, it'll be there.
I'll be there.
It'll be there.
I'll be there.
And
No,
he'll
said he'll
act like
do
he
this
enjoys it.
full-
Okay.
No, he will enjoy it.
You will
Next
enjoy
up,
it.
Metal Eden. We got the reveal trailer for Metal Eden. Looked like a mixture of Doom, Titan. Alexa, you're not a part of this podcast, fam. I don't need you to be talking. Yeah, it looked like a mixture between like a Doom, Titanfall, Ghost Running, this, that, and the other. Like it just looked like a lot for my little pea brain.
I mean, let's be honest. The first comment we made as a live reaction was like, "Is this marathon?" It looked like
Yes.
gameplay. It looks like Destiny with the just like classic future spin on it. But yeah, like this might be interesting. But I think my problem was I was like, "Is this marathon?" Oh, it's not marathon. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I
But
get you.
like, which doesn't give this credit. Like, it looks like it's interesting if you like quite fast movement, lots of gunplay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Full gunplay. Yeah, it's coming May 6th to Xbox. So yeah, not it's an interesting one. Definitely an interesting one. Last but not least, which is probably the one that I think caught me off guard the most, and then I figured out who was developing it, so it made 100% more sense. This is Mind's Eye, the gameplay trailer. So this game is the Rockstar North old team, which makes so much more sense after we saw it. Yeah, it looks. I said when it got shown, I was like, "Is this Driver? Like, is Driver back? Like, what's going on here?" But yeah, once I figured out who the developer was, I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." So it's that mixture of like, how do I even Driver cross.
Driver, Saints
Sleeping
Row,
Dogs, Saints
GTA. When you think of
Row.
those games, that third-person aspect in those games is all very similar.
Yeah.
That is what this game is,
Yeah,
or what it seems like.
Just
Yeah.
Cause.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
the perfect. I feel like that's the perfect a sci-fi Just Cause.
Yeah.
That's what I got from this. Yeah, it doesn't look bad. Graphically, look really good. Like I've said about a lot of games, which is to be expected. It's 2025. Your game ain't looking graphically up there. What are you even doing, right? Unreal Engine it exists. It doesn't look like anything not generic. Is what I will say about this game. Like, I'm sure this would be fun, but it feels when we've got GTA coming, it's hard to fit in that world in any way, shape, or form, really. Because I'm like, I see that and go, oh, can't wait for GTA.
Yeah.
Which is unfair. It's unfair, and I do miss these AA games like that competed on that GTA level that weren't GTA. Saints Row, I love Saints Row back in the day when it was grounded and gangstery, and 1 and 2 were some of my favorite experiences. 3 I enjoyed, and then it went off. It just went crazy. So I do hope Mind's Eye does well. Coming to everything, I just don't know if does the gaming space allow for a Mind's Eye to exist anymore? Is what I'm worried about.
I don't think so. I think like when you see it, it looks too similar to GTA, and I've talked about like how GTA has struggles for me personally. I'm not talking about like with everybody, but struggles with me gameplay wise. So if you take a lot of those elements and if they don't vastly improve it, and we haven't seen like pure cut gameplay from what we've seen, it is very similar to a lot of those GTA aspects. I don't know how you survive without being GTA in that landscape for that type of game, personally.
It's very much the case of like, if you're not doing anything new, why are you doing it?
Yeah. We'll see. It's definitely, I definitely think it's one to look out for. Definitely one to look out for. Coming summer 2025. It does have a Rockstar pedigree behind it in some of the people there. So yeah, we'll
Partnering with IOI as well.
Yeah, but that's just publishing deal. So I'm like,
but like, is this their first publishing deal as part of that partnership program?
Not sure.
Like I feel like this is the first time I've seen that logo of like the IOI partnership. So like, if they're putting enough like backing behind it, you know, maybe they've got belief in it.
Maybe I don't know.
We'll see.
We certainly will see. Boys, time for Guess That Game. If you don't know what Guess That Game is, we will pick a game. One of us. It's my turn this week. The boys will ask me yes or no questions. I will give them 1 minute and 30 seconds to ask questions. And we'll see how they get on. Crash, I will admit,
Yep.
struggling with the trivia for this one. I got the game, but the trivia I don't have. So what do? I didn't want to change the game.
Okay. So you have no trivia whatsoever, no personal memory, nothing like.
I've got just a simple one, which is really boring.
Better than
Some
none,
weeks
right?
some weeks it's gonna be boring. You can't always have
The problem is, I looked up trivia for this game, by the way, and it was going to be so obscure that it just didn't even make sense. But I still wanted to pick the game. So what do I do? What do I do with a week like this?
I think you just go for the boring trivia.
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
Whatever
I mean,
gives
yeah,
us a
sure.
point that Matt doesn't get is fine.
Yeah.
Oh, you can have no trivia,
that's-
just automatically give us both a point extra.
No.
Okay.
No, I'll just
You know
come
what?
up with what I've got.
Okay.
All right, cool. All right, are you ready? Oh, actually, I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
you're not
so
ready.
Just give me
I'm opening my notes app so I can make notes of what we're doing, what we say.
smart. Wikipedia. There we go. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, here we go. In 3,
Oh, wait.
2.
Order.
You're going first. You then despawn.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
360.
Yes.
Exclusive?
No.
Action adventure.
Yes.
Modern setting.
Pause time. No. Carry on.
Futuristic.
Yes.
Okay. Guns?
No. No.
Okay.
No guns. Co-op.
No.
Multiplayer.
No.
Okay.
EA game.
Yes.
Okay. Oh God. Platformer?
No.
No.
Hack and slash.
Yes.
Okay. Crash knows what it is. Hack and slash EA.
Yeah. I think you're. Yeah.
Oh God. My mind. I like because Crash knows what it is, and I haven't got a fucking clue.
Oh, I don't know what it is. I have
Okay.
no clue.
Then I'm wasting time here. God damn it. My mind like. Fuck.
Question. Any question?
Any question? Any question? Have I played it?
I ain't got a clue, but that's time.
Okay.
You gotta just get questions
I
out there.
know. I know.
You do this every week.
I know.
Or just pass.
Or
Yeah.
just pass.
Maybe that's it. If you'd
Okay.
ask a question in 5 seconds, you pass.
No, you have to say pass.
It's
I'm
gotta
not
be up to
using
you.
the
It's
time.
gotta be
Okay.
up to you.
Then going forwards, I'm just going to say pass every time and let Crash give us the answer.
That's your issues. They're your issues.
I'm not letting Crash
Okay,
asking us questions.
360,
Yep.
non-exclusive,
Yep.
action adventure,
Yep.
no guns, a EA game, and a
Yep.
hack and slash game.
Yeah.
Launched on the 360. 360 EA did so many like. Oh, we should have asked if it was an IP. That's where we fucked up. I feel like it's an IP game. What IP game? Hack and slash future question mark on the modern and question mark on the futuristic. Fix had to look it up. So
I
you
didn't,
know.
I didn't even look it up. I just don't know how to answer the question. It's definitely not. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. That question always fucks me because I'm just like,
well, it's either is it set in the future, is it set in like modern era, or is it like in the past? It's like you get 3 options.
I still don't know how to answer that question.
Okay.
You'll tell me afterwards.
Modern is like there's no magic, there's no nothing, but it is
So
today.
it's not okay.
Like, it's what we would have today.
Look, just carry on, man. Just carry on. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
So you answered the question like shit. Now you're gonna okay.
Oh, we already know what happens if I again.
Yeah, no. Yeah, you're
I think let's just be honest. You didn't ask the right questions.
Okay.
Did it?
You would.
Oh, you did.
You did. You asked the right questions.
yeah.
Some of them, and some of them you didn't.
Somebody didn't ask the right questions.
That's facts. That's facts. We've been doing this segment now for how long? And there's basic questions that you can ask just to help a little. That you
My
just
brain
choose
just
not to.
forgets. Yeah, I know.
You should write down just a list of 10 questions of like, oh, let me ask this.
How long have we do this podcast? Who plans for this thing?
That's part of the problem. Come on, boys. I got to push for an answer. We'll start with you,
Yeah.
Crash.
Why
No,
did
actually,
you
you might
start
know
with
the
me?
answer. We'll start with Despawn. You're right. Despawn, come on. EA action adventure game. 360 generation.
My mind goes to 2 games, and neither of them are going to be the right answer. I'm just going to say Rayman Origins. Oh, Rayman Legends, sorry.
Okay.
Not Origins, Rayman
I'm
as a
gonna
game.
say the no. I'm gonna say the game that was on my mind, but it's not it because it doesn't work at all, and Rayman Legends doesn't work as well because the fixes hang up on the modern answer. I was gonna say Star Wars Force Unleashed. It's not Star Wars Force Unleashed. It's not Rayman's Legends. It's something in the modern
What's your
setting.
other answer?
Sleeping Dogs.
Okay.
Not
no.
Sleeping Dogs.
Sleeping Dogs weren't EA.
No, I have no clue what it was, but I thought
Yeah.
of something in the moment. Maybe I'll get a
answer-
point.
The answer is Alice's Madness Returns. Now,
Okay.
what setting is that? I don't know. I
That
genuinely
is
don't know how to
100%
answer
in
that.
the
That's
past.
not.
Past.
Yeah, that's.
That's a classic fantasy tale. Like, that's
See,
way in
but
the
I don't
past.
understand how to answer it. Explain it to me so I can get this right from now on, please.
When somebody asks, "Is it modern?"
Yeah.
Where do you look at? Does
Like,
magic? When you go outside, do you have magic? Can you turn small and do shit? No, that game's not fucking modern. What the fuck? How do you get a hang up
didn't
on?
say it was
And when I
modern.
say
I didn't say it was
futuristic,
modern.
you have a hang up on futuristic. How does that happen?
Yeah.
No, that
And
makes
also-
more sense now.
yeah, I'm gonna
futuristic
say-
makes more sense.
Fix gets
Also-
no points for this.
yeah,
I
gets
vote
no
Fix
points.
gets no points.
No,
for
yeah.
this.
No, I don't get any points. No, I definitely
Okay,
don't get any
okay,
points.
okay.
I knew as soon as you asked the question that I was like, I don't know how to answer this.
Well, look,
I'm like,
here's-
I'm just an idiot. look, can I just,
I'll-
look,
can I give you-
come here,
Yeah,
no,
alright,
come
we're-
here, come
yeah,
here,
yeah,
come
okay,
here, come
okay.
here, come here.
Mm-hmm.
I've made a career out of just being me. You understand that, right?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And people are starting to learn that I'm really fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And it scares me a little bit because I feel like I'm getting older and dumber every single week.
Have you?
So I need to just say sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's okay.
I forgive you, and I think most people will forgive you because by this point in time, they've realized that you're just dumb fix, and it's okay. They love you
It's
because
fine.
you are dumb.
Yeah.
You know?
They can relate. It's fine.
Yeah. They see
Yeah.
themselves in you.
Yeah.
A fraction
sure?
of themselves, not quite as
sure?
dumb,
Yeah,
but they
yeah.
see
Not the dumb part, no, no.
themselves in you.
Why do people listen to this podcast?
For Crash,
You
you know
mentioned
this.
when we watched the the thing and Angel Boy popped in. You ask a very valid question on why people like me. The question is why people like any of us. That's a good point.
I mean,
you
I've
know?
got the beard. Crash has got the hair. You've got
Smile.
the dumb. You have the smile. Yeah, that's true. Also,
The dumb's a
to
good
make-
one. Dumb's a
yeah,
good one.
to make it easier for you in the future, modern does it have cars in it?
No, that's not a good because you
I
can't
mean-
look
That's
at so
terrible.
many games.
That's terrible.
The modern
No. I'm saying, would that
could it exist
period
in
have
your world
cars in
today?
it? Yeah.
Would it exist in
'Cause-
your world today?
yeah,
That means
'cause,
modern.
Because if you go to the monster game
Futuristic.
in the past, the most recent one, not the remake or whatever.
No,
that
yeah.
is a modern
Yeah.
setting. That's in the past. That's not today.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Look, guys, I'm
And
sorry.
I'll tell you
sorry.
100%
I
now
let you
that
down.
Alice series is based in the Victorian age, so yeah, there's no way that is like modern.
I forgive you, Fix. It's not your fault. It can be a
no, it
confusing
is.
question. It can
is
be.
my fault.
I'm trying to give
No.
you an out. Just take that.
It's my
Just
fault.
take
It's
it.
okay. I'm
Okay.
dumb.
No,
I'm dumb.
the
I'm
out-
dumb. It's okay.
Like I said, the out is it's his fault.
Trivia. Alice Madness Returns released on June 16th, 2011. Have I played Alice Madness Returns? Yes. No. You got a 50-50 chance for a point here. And this was always going to be the trivia. I couldn't come up with anything.
Okay, I'm gonna say no.
So, I know Haley's played it. It's one of Haley's favorite games. I was hoping the trivia question would be revolve around that. Have you played it? What do you? Can I just ask what you constitute as playing it?
Have I played the game? It's pretty. That's a pretty.
So held the controller and maneuvered the
Have
character.
I played the game. If you've held the controller and moved the character, have you played the game?
Yes.
Not really. I'd say more, if you've done it for more than 5 minutes, then you've played the game.
Why? If you go to a preview event and there's only one, and you move around, you play a walking sim, and then the demo ends, have you played the game?
He's just answered the question.
Have
Damn
you
it.
played the game? Yes or no?
No,
I'm
I
asking.
don't-
Have you played the game?
I wouldn't constitute
In that
it,
case,
but
you
okay.
have played the game.
Okay.
Have I?
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna stick with Despawn and say no.
The answer is correct. I've never played Alice Madness Returns.
Hey! Okay.
Yeah.
Congratulations, boys. Congratulations.
More
Sorry I
points.
F'd you both. I'm sorry I F'd you both. I'm
fine,
sorry.
it's fine, it's
I'm an
fine, it's
idiot.
fine, it's
I'm
fine.
sorry.
It
But the
happens,
points
it
look
happens,
like
it
this.
happens.
Fresh 2, Matt 0, Despawn 6, me 4, Ryan McCaffrey 1. Congratulations to everyone. I'm proud of
I'm
you.
coming back. This is the year. I know we're only in January.
We
or
should
February.
make it that anybody who gets below the guest's points, and the guest should have 1 point, they have to do a punishment. That's what we should do.
Yeah.
Team Boozle, baby.
We should vote it in right now while Matt's not here, so he can't like refute. the thing, 'cause
Unanimous decision.
We had a team vote on it.
Team Boozle. Team
Yeah,
Boozle.
we're all
Better than
agreed. Yeah, we're all in. Perfect.
Where the hell is blind rankings? Here they are. Perfect. All right, let's jump into blind rankings, boys. We are going to rank some video games written in by the audience, and we're going to blind rank them. The first game today is Hollow Knight.
Ooh.
This is rough because I don't really like Hollow Knight. I'm gonna be
Oh,
honest
okay.
with it. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of it.
I am, but yeah.
I'll let you take charge with where it belongs. I would say 3.
Well, I was gonna say
If that-
let's middle ground it, just because again we don't know what the list is, and that's the problem. Is like, it could be anything. So let's go 3.
Hollow Knight was fine. I'm fine with it going 4.
Well, 2 said 3, so
Yeah, but I could convince Crash to go 4.
you could. Do you want
Give me an argument.
It's alright.
it?
We'll keep it at 3.
Alright, cool. Next game. Next game. The Prince of Persia Lost Crown.
Okay, here we go.
It's something to do with platformers. One.
No.
4.
Yeah, what?
Oh
4.
no! Shut
What?
up!
4.
No.
This is why
Based
the
off
Hollow
what we-
Knight should have been 4.
Based off we put, I don't think there's a world that you can argue based off public perception that Hollow Knight goes below Prince of Persia Lost Crown.
I don't care about public perception. I care about what we're doing sat here right now,
I
making
don't.
this blind
This is
ranking.
Big Willie P's list.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Big Willie P's not putting Hollow Knight below.
It's okay. Who cares what he thinks?
Yeah, we only care about what we think about the
Just
list.
trying to get it
and
where I
then-
want. I'm gonna be honest. I'm trying to get it where I want.
Yeah.
No, Prince of Persia Lost
My
Crown
vote was
2.
4. My
2.
vote was
2.
4. You guys.
2.
2.
Because Mario's going to be on this list, and that has to go 1.
I don't think Mario is on this list. I've got an idea of what this list might be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
2.
Okay.
Metroid Dread.
Dread.
Dread. Thanks.
That one I would say 4.
Never even played it. 5.
Okay.
I'll put 4.
All right, fine. So that leaves us Hollow Knight
We've still got 2 more, right?
3. Yeah, no, I'm just
Okay.
going through the list.
Okay.
Let me do my job. Hollow
No, you
Knight
do.
3, Prince of Persia 2, Metroid 4,
Yep.
Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Oh, 5.
What?
Again, like we're not going on how quality of the game. I think we're going on what the list is, and yeah, I think this one comes as a 5 just on based on the list.
The original Ori was better than the sequel anyway.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll go 5. And then last but not least, at number 1 is Animal Well.
Yeah, we fucked it.
Yeah, we fucked it.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Ah, wow. Okay.
No, we sucked this week.
Wow, that was bad.
I don't even know what Animal Well is.
I do.
Me
It's like
either.
it's like a huge indie game that came out last year. I think it's some.
I know,
No, it's not Game
I
Pass.
knew it
but-
came out last year, but I
Yeah.
thought it did
Is
come
it
out.
a-
Yellow
is it
background?
No.
No, not yellow backgrounds. No,
Is it
it's
a
not last week.
Metroidvania?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Okay. We're just okay. Fine. All right. Title time, boys. Fresh, I'll let you go first.
Why do I gotta go first this week?
Because I said so.
Okay. You know what? I'm in charge of blind ranking next week.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm going to guess that it is.
Any words, Crash? We're a podcast.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
so sorry.
Yeah, it's
I'm
fake.
so sorry.
It's weird when your brain goes empty, isn't it? Yeah, yeah.
Metroidvania. Best Metroidvania games. It's not that. It's 100% not that, by the way. Because Symphony of the Night's not on it. Like, that's not the title. It's not even close to that.
Best Metroidvania games, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, Despawn.
Best modern Metroidvania games.
Oh, that sucks.
Could be that. Could be that.
One sec, I'm just writing it down.
That's fine.
Best Metroidvania games.
Best modern Metroidvania
Best
games.
modern Metroidvania games, sure.
Yeah.
Switch out best with top modern.
Yeah, there you go.
Metroidvania
You got it. Yeah.
Top modern Metroidvania games.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, sure. All right. Are we ready?
Yes.
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Best modern Metroidvanias. Well, it's got to be Despawn.
Yeah, I thought he gets it. Yeah,
we have to. We have to
gets
give
for
it to
sure.
him. We
He gets
have
it for
to.
sure. I wish I
Best
could make him like
modern-
argue it for a little bit just to like get him a little heated. Like they're not gonna give it to me, but like
Nah.
fine.
One
There's
word off. One word off. Just remember
Yeah.
last week when I had 3 words and I got no point, just so we're
Mhm.
aware. Just
what
putting it
was
out
your
there.
distinction with what you didn't put? Because I think you actually had a pretty like
I couldn't remember. I
you
couldn't
had a
remember.
pretty
but...
big distinction.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was. But Despawn, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the extra point. Congratulations. Proud of you. Proud of you. All right. Before we get out of here, let's jump into Fix This Sack. The audience have written in some questions. You can email my Xbox and me podcast@gmail.com. Also hit us up on Discord, where most people ask their questions. Big Woody P says, stealing a question from GameScoop. What is the most pivotal year for each of the major 3 console manufacturers? Oof, big question.
Xbox
I don't know
is the year they announced the 360 and it came out a year before the PS3.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Disagree.
Oh.
You disagree?
Yes, because I think it's the year. I think it's the year that the Xbox One got announced.
Yeah, we're not talking about the best year. We're talking about the most
It's not
pivotal year.
the most pivotal.
Yeah.
The one when Xbox One came out,
Screwed
I-
the pooch.
there was
Yeah.
literally petitions of people just like, we're done. And I think they haven't recovered from that ever.
I agree with you, but they wouldn't have had anything to recover from because if the 360 didn't come out, there would be no Xbox One. If they didn't do what they did with the 360, it didn't come out at that point, it didn't release the way it did, there would be no moment for you to look at and say that's the most pivotal moment.
So you're saying them coming out a year before the PS3 and
Yep.
$200 cheaper, I believe,
Mm,
was
was more pivotal than
I'm screwing the
the
pooch.
one coming out and screwing up everything.
Yeah, especially as we've heard, like
Yeah.
Microsoft didn't really fuck with Xbox like that as well. They were looking ways to offload it on all sorts of stuff like
That's
that.
true.
So I think the 360, like you wouldn't get the Xbox you have today. You wouldn't have gotten that failure from Xbox either if the 360 didn't do what it did.
Yeah. Would you
Okay.
say that was a pivotal point, or would you say that was just a pivotal era?
I would say pivotal point.
Okay. Okay.
Because I even think if you think of that whole era, like Xbox, the 360 didn't stay on top the whole era. It didn't have that whole era like reigning supreme, right?
2005 was when they announced it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd say that year. I'd say that the year they had ahead of Sony.
Yeah.
So then what would you say was PlayStation's?
I'd
Oh.
argue I'd argue the £600 announcement. I think that was such a wild moment in their era, in their history, that I think they've basically changed their mindset to a point where like they'll never do that again. And then actually, I say that, and they did it again with PS4.
I think the PS4 could be easily, because
This is how you share games.
the you share games $100 cheaper than the Xbox One. No DRM. The way they just destroyed Xbox to a point where people now literally know we own Xboxes, but like, and people are listening, but like, they're so inferior because of how the indie game support, the developers they got behind them during that PS4 era, the price point. I think PlayStation still were fine. Like after the don't get me wrong, they weren't to the same level as obviously what they thought that they become with the PS3, but the PS4, there was such a cosmic shift to like, if you play Xbox, you're icky.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
you were looked at like an idiot if you own an Xbox over a PlayStation.
The way you mentioned like the Xbox One would have been like the era, like that's because of what happened with their PS4 announcement as well. Like that fed into
of course,
it too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then to see the run they go on after that, by the way, with the amount of games they put out on the PS4, I think the PS4 is a more pivotal moment for them. Because not only that, the momentum they have taken into like the PS5 generation, the PlayStation 5 hasn't done that much different to what the Xbox Series has done.
No.
In the grand scheme of things. Like, it hasn't been that different. But the momentum they went in with because of everything that happened with the PS4, yeah, I think I would say the PS4. So that would have been 2016? Xbox, no, PlayStation, PS4, E3. When was that? 2013. I remember when they put the price point up on the screen.
Yep. Every moment of that felt like a victory lap for them.
Yeah.
Literally every single thing they did.
It's like, this is better, this is better. You don't have to worry about this. Here you go.
Yep.
Here's a box of just change games. Yeah.
Yeah. So 2005, 2013, and then with Nintendo, obviously, I would say our weakest point. I think the most pivotal moment for Nintendo was when they didn't sign the deal with Sony.
Yeah.
Like, that could be the argument of like them not signing the deal with Sony and them going off on their own and doing what they did.
Was that for? I forget. Was that for the original Nintendo, or that was the Super Nintendo? Right? It was supposed to be
Super
N64.
It was one of them. Yeah.
It wasn't N64. It wasn't N64.
It was N64. Then it would have been
Super Nintendo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when did the PS1 come out? It's
PS1 came out 94. And when did the SNES come out? Super Nintendo
1990. So it would have probably been it would maybe
it would have been that, and then they went off and they were like, fine, we'll do our own thing or whatever.
Well, like, it came out in 92 in North America. It was only 1990 in Europe.
Yeah, it's either.
So no, I think it would have been the N64 because that came out in 96. So they probably pivoted to do their own thing after cancelling the deal.
I think that's the most pivotal moment for Nintendo, right?
I mean, it's the most.
By the way, from a games perspective, I'm not talking about back when they were a toy company and all of that stuff. I'm talking about from a games perspective specifically.
Yeah, but I think you can make an argument for like the very first Nintendo home console, because like that console changed the game completely. Like I don't think gaming in general would be the same without that, right? So I think it's either that or the moment you said, because those are both really big moments, and I guess it goes to which do you prioritize?
I think
the chicken, you know.
Yeah, I mean the birth of Sony PlayStation is, I think, the biggest.
Yeah, you know what?
Based on the back of a decision not to go ahead with something, birthed like the biggest console of all time.
Most pivotal moment for each of the major. you know what? For Sony's, maybe you go back and say,
Well,
Yeah.
maybe you go
Yeah.
back and say when Nintendo
Just-
for Sony, you say when Nintendo decided to go and do their own thing. Because I
Mm.
don't
say-
think that's that pivotal for Nintendo. I think it's more pivotal for Sony, right?
you could say the Game Boy for Nintendo though.
Yeah.
The Game Boy. Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm.
You know what's
1989.
crazy? If you really wanted to make an argument, you could say the Wii as well.
So there's an argument
No.
for the Wii.
Yeah. there's an
Yeah, no,
argument
that's
for
what
it.
I'm saying. Like Nintendo
Yeah.
has a lot of arguments for having very big pivotal moments.
The
They
only
keep
console
running the kitchen
Nintendo
again.
missed with was the GameCube.
Yep. Yeah. The Wii.
Oh no, Wii U.
Let's not.
Sorry.
Let's
Yeah,
not.
let's not. I was gonna say, let's not. Yeah, let's
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
Yeah.
Sorry. No, you're right. You're right.
I'm sorry, the Virtual Boy. Come on.
But that one, yeah.
They
Oh, no,
miss,
good question.
but they take risks, and that's
place.
what's good about them. Yeah. Yeah. Great question.
Good question. I don't know. Yeah,
I'd
I'm
go
just
OG
like-
Nintendo's release for me.
that first console.
Yeah, I think it just changes everything for the at-home gaming in general. Like it just revolutionizes the space.
I'm leaning to the Game Boy. I think introducing handheld gaming like that, to the fact
Yeah.
that it is now, like you said, the Switch is still like a direct descendant of that. Like,
Yeah, so you're saying the SNES crash, which would be called the Famicom.
Yeah.
Huh.
would have been Super
Dot
Famicom.
Con,
Yeah.
yeah. 1983. Yeah, I mean, you could. Yeah, there's an argument for it all. There's definitely an argument for it all. Definitely. Good question. Here's my question, because I think we're going to end on this, because I'm going to save the rest of the questions for next week.
Mhm.
What is the most pivotal console in your guys' life? Because again, I grew up with so many. Again, and by the way, again, I say this: I didn't grow up rich. I grew up poor, but for some weird reason, video games were always around me. Always, like, yeah. So, like, for me, the Mega Drive is just like ingrained in my brain.
Would the Mega Drive be the
Genesis.
Sega Genesis for us?
Yeah.
For me, it's between the Genesis and the Super Nintendo, neck and neck for both of those being very pivotal. Because I have a lot of very early gaming memories with like both of them that sort of made me go into like wanting to play games. I think I'd lean towards Sega Genesis because I just have more
Alright.
early memories with them.
Sonic and Shinobi, Golden Axe. Like that's why I pop for all these games when they come out. I had that cartridge that had the 3 different games on, which was like Golden Axe, Columns, yep.
Yeah.
And then there was something. So was something else. in there.
Fantasy
Shinobi,
Star Online,
wasn't
was
it? Oh, it might have been. I don't remember. Go on.
Was the Beast game? I forget what it's called.
Altered Beast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Sega Genesis also.
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Earthworm Jim.
Yeah, classics, all classics.
Mad.
I think for me, it's going to be the Game Boy.
Okay.
Told the story a million times. I'll tell it one more time. The sitting around the kitchen table, beating my mum's score on Tetris and swapping the Game Boy back and forth. I think that was the first like moment where gaming was a thing, rather than just like, oh, I'll just I'll play when I'm bored. Like gaming was that like a focus for a while. Yeah, and I think and then as a possible follow up from that, the 360 era.
Oh, bro, the minute
playing
I plugged an
playing
Ethernet
Gears.
cable.
Yeah, playing Gears online with your friend, like there's nothing. Yeah, that was it. Game over for
Yeah.
everything else.
No, agreed. Totally agreed. Crash, you saying Sega? You saying Mega Drive as well? Genesis?
Yep. Yeah.
Mad. Man, games have come so far. When you look back and you're like, you think where we started, and now
Mhm.
3 knuckleheads that people listen to on the internet talking about games. Wild.
Yeah.
Wild. All right, let's plug, get ourselves out of here. If you ask a question, we'll answer it next week. We've gone long. Crash, what you got to plug this week?
Do we want to go over the fantasy draft stuff or leave it for next week?
No, if you know what you want to talk about, please feel free.
Yeah, I can go over the changes that were made this past 2 weeks because we haven't covered it for 2 weeks. Let's see. We covered the Lies of P. We covered this, so it would be here. So, going from the bottom up, Dollar Slice Games acquired Fragpunk for $1. Dollar Slice Games acquired. Why are you laughing about that, huh?
It's just, no reason.
No,
No
you
reason.
do.
no
It's gonna be
reason.
it's gonna be a banger. Okay, just trust,
Uh-huh.
trust the gut.
I trust. Yeah.
Acquired Wanderstop for a bid of $3, which I do think is actually going to legitimately be a banger.
Yeah.
Acquired Sea of Stars Throes of the Watchmaker for $3. I think is going to be another banger. Fixer's Grindhouse acquired the first Berserk Kazan. I don't like what you're doing with your picks, Fix. I don't like the way you're moving out here.
Why? Well, what did I do wrong?
Because you just you're targeting me. I feel like you're targeting me. I'm not saying nothing about this podcast on games
played
I
that
play from
game.
now on. Everything's shit. You played it for 6 minutes, my guy.
It's a solid 6 minutes.
Solid 6 minutes. You know
Fantastic
what?
story.
My bad. Elden Ring. It all makes sense. Despawn acquired Fable with a bid of $4. Despawn Games acquired Metroid Prime 4 Beyond with a bid of $7. Dollar Slice Games acquired Borderlands 4 with a bid of $8. Dollar Slice Games acquired The Midnight Walk with a bid of $11. Despawn Games acquired Blueprints for $2. Despawn Games acquired The Altars for $1. And Despawn Games acquired Light No Fire for $1.
Interesting.
Any thoughts?
Interesting. Not really, because Despawn Games also acquired Football Manager and that got cancelled, so I ain't even scared.
That's a big donut for
Cancelled.
for that point.
Cancelled. The game dead. Like it don't exist no more.
I mean, we should talk about whether we're gonna let Despawn drop that. I think the answer is no, right? Yeah.
No, what do you mean drop it? He should have done his research before he started bidding on games.
Nah. That's fine.
It's more fun if you don't.
Yeah, it's more fun
More
if you
fun
don't.
for us. Way
Yeah.
more fun for us. But
I'm not here to win. I'm here to have a good time.
Quick update on the points though. You've got obviously Despawn currently sitting on 16. I'm currently sitting on 12. Crash is sitting on 0. And Despawn's Game Sucks, which is Matt, sitting on 19. Kingdom Come Deliverance did numbers.
Yep.
Which to be expected. So we'll see. I notice I'm slacking behind now though. I need to buy some more games.
Yeah.
I gotta pick up some. Games, definitely.
The problem is after Despawn gets hit, it's sort of like, do you want to go and get games you know are coming out, or do you want to just like hang back for a little bit?
Oh, I think every time there's a conference like this, right? You're like, release dates.
Yeah, that's
okay,
all.
perfect.
That's
Here
all
we go.
I'm
Here we go. It's
Yeah.
like I looked at Borderlands and I was like, I just don't believe. I just
don't
don't
believe it comes out?
I believe it comes out, but I just don't
Yeah.
believe it's gonna
It's gonna
do
be
well
good.
enough to worthy of
If
a
that-
pick. So
If that gets like an 82, I'd be happy with the pick. That's all I need from it.
I've got an 82, man. They got me 12 points. I need bigger.
Any bigger than that, yeah. Either
Need
They got
bigger.
19s.
GTA coming, as long as it comes out this year, which it probably will come out. This
I mean, they keep saying it's coming.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, can I be honest, Despawn? I was so confused by your picks after you didn't get Football Manager, because then you locked in Fable, and I
Yeah.
was so confused. And Metroid Prime 4, which then I saw an article that was like, Nintendo reassures Metroid Prime 4 is coming out this year, which who knows. But Fable just left me on my ass. I was like, why?
That for midnight previews as well. I was like, I know Despawn, you're in trouble, bro.
Yeah, no, I got
You're
that
in
before
trouble.
the previews dropped, I think.
It's
If
an interesting-
Despawn does what he always does, which is he'll see something or he reacts in the moment. And he's like, that was really cool. That was really amazing. And then he jumps all in on it.
Yep.
Which is not a negative thing. It's not a bad thing.
Again, I'm not here to win. I'm here to have a good time, and you know, I'm really not control, believe me. So I'll lose.
Despawn, anything to plug?
Yeah, for a change, I actually have something to plug. Work. Go check out the PC Gamer preview of the gameplay footage that dropped from Elden Ring. I did the edit on it. Yeah, it's doing numbers, which is great. But yeah, you know, keeps me in a job. But yeah, excited.
Go check it out. You can leave it in the description if you want for people to be able to click.
Can do.
Cool. Podcast reviews, always go and drop a review if you haven't already. If you're a new listener, please, you might have come in from Ryan McCaffrey's episode. We appreciate you. Welcome in. Sorry for the late audio, everyone. It went out eventually. Thank you, guys. Yep. Thanks. Anyway, until next time, we'll love you. Leave it. See you later. Goodbye.